Yo, what's going on, everybody? Here with, sorry about that. We had a little login issue with the software here. Software was peeing on itself, and I talked to the company, and they said there was some kind of... They actually fixed it pretty quickly, I gotta tell you, man. They figured it out for me pretty quickly. There actually was a problem. But what's up? We got a little bit to talk about tonight on Out of Nowhere. We're gonna keep it pretty short and sweet tonight. So... be around here for the next hour or so and be into this, man. Get it all out. Tell us what you want via Super Chat down below or Streamlabs Twitch alerts in description box. As always, stick that thumb up my ass. Go ahead and do it. Just stick it right up there. And we're here with the man you may have seen on Lucha Underground, Famous B. Yeah, he's here.
What is going on, gentlemen? This is Famous B, and it is nice to talk to you tonight, Mr. Jake and Mr. Joe Cronin. You can bask in my glory.
Oh my God, that was pretty good.
Keith Lee.
I was about as uncomfortable listening to that as I was when he did.
You got Keith B.
Keith B. Yeah. Oh my God, dude, that was really good. Like, that was pretty damn good. I never want to hear it again, but no, it was really good.
Oh, trust me, you won't. Trust me,
I'm
you
just
won't.
kidding. I'm joking. Anyway, that shit's funny. You know, the only thing I was thinking about was like that fucking Conan clip. When I think about that, I just hear Conan being like, "Man, what are you gonna fuck him, or what are you gonna do?"
Right. Conan's a fool, man. I love Conan, though, man. That's my boy right there, man.
I'll never forget
Shout out
that guy.
to Conan. Orale!
Orale, get on the podcast, Conan. What the fuck, man? You DM me and you never come on. We DM and you don't come on. What the fuck? That's actually how I met him, was doing an accent like that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I made fun of Rey Mysterio's knee being injured. Like I didn't make fun of a current knee injury. I just said like I had surgery 5 times on my fucking knee or whatever in that opening video that he used to on the WWE. Don't try this at home.
Right.
So I was making fun of the whole thing, and then some guy, like, this was way back too. This was before like all the real SJW stuff started happening. I think this was like 2013, and some guy who I guess is like a big Mick Foley fan, blogger guy, but nobody really heard of him. And he got all crazy on Twitter about it. Like, he was like, I don't know, like, I forget how it happened, but he basically was tweeting out, like, don't talk to him, you know, Conan, he's a racist or something like that.
Oh, my God.
And Conan was like, why is he a racist? And the guy was like, here's the clip, watch this. And he sent him, like, the video of me, like, being like, I had surgery in my knee. And then Conan was like, he's just... The guy, anyway, Conan basically ended up blocking the guy and telling him, he told the guy to fuck himself too on Twitter. It was hilarious because I wrote in after that, I wrote something like, I'm like, dude, I was just fucking doing a joking accent or whatever. I was like, whatever. And then Conan was like, that's fucked up. And then I guess he watched the clip. And then after he watched it, he came back on Twitter and it was like he was angry. So he went from like, hey, this guy was making fun of Ray and disrespecting Ray. And then Conan was like, who the fuck? What the fuck? Where is it? What? And then he went and looked at it. And so when he came back, he wrote, hey, I saw it, man. And like, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, man. What are you, fucking pussy? Like, and the guy was like, exactly. What the fuck, dude? I love you, man. I love fucking everybody. This guy's a fucking racist or something like that. And then he just shit on him. And then he came on my show. He called the show like when I was live. And he was like,
no shit.
Yeah, he wasn't going live then or doing anything like that. I think he was doing his podcast, or he was really close to doing it. I think he might be, he was doing his podcast then. And he was like, he came on the show. I still have it up on YouTube to this day. He's like, yeah, you did like a Mexican accent. He's like, you were just fucking around. He's like, I fuck around all the time. He's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, you were just whatever. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. That was really cool because I was like, uh-oh. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen here?
Yeah, no cultural appropriation here.
Yeah, he was basically like, fuck you, like, to the guy. And he goes, I told the guy, man, fuck you. I thought that was hilarious. This guy went crying thinking he was, like, white knighting Conan. And then Conan told him to fuck himself and blocked him, and he's a fan. I thought that was great.
Because Conan know what's up, man. He you know, he's a really smart guy. Obviously, he's been around the business forever.
Yeah.
And you know, he's in tune to what's going on. So, like, if you're really talking shit, he'll be in tune to that. But if you're fucking around, he'll be in tune to that too. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the guy was just using it, obviously, as a mechanism to get close to him, to talk to him, or try to you know, be all on his jock and shit.
To call him
and
out.
it backfired. And it backfired on him. So,
majorly. It was crazy. It was weird, dude. It was like, I don't know. I almost felt bad for him, but not really, because like, what was the guy doing? You know what I mean? But yeah, it was like an SJW before the SJWs, because back then,
right?
I don't remember that happening back then. It was 2013, and I'd never experienced something like that in my life. That was the first time I ever saw somebody like really trying to cancel you, trying to cancel me. Yeah, in 2013, dude. Like, I was like, wow. This guy's weird, and it was very strange. Like, yeah, I don't know where that interview is, but I know I got it up. It may have to be uploaded again or public, but for the people that don't know, a while back I privated all my videos on my entire channel because you had to go through to get rid of some things like copyright stuff and things like that. In fact, there's going to be a big thing of that coming soon. I think I don't even know yet.
Very confusing with YouTube.
Very confusing. I have no idea what these new rules are, but there's some kind of thing. It almost makes it seem like if you have more than 30 copyright, like even just demonetizations, that you could be in trouble if you don't get rid of all of those videos.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Which is like, I've got like 500 of those.
Especially while they don't have people reviewing manually right now in the office. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
what do they expect?
That, and I don't know what that means. So that may mean my entire library of YouTube videos all come down, and I'll go from because even now if you look, it doesn't say I have 60 million views. I should have about 40 million views on JCS, but it says I have like 20 million or 18 million. That's because I've privated so many videos and so many have been deleted. So you may see, me go down to 5 million views, which does affect sponsorships and credit rating, ratings on your channel and stuff like that. But whatever. I mean, who cares? You have to do it. But,
and you're at 21 million now.
Yeah. So,
and I know I've seen you over 40 personally. So, I mean, it's like.
You will have to, basically what we'll end up having to do probably is put the entire library of the show on Patreon or behind my website or something like that, because I don't know what the reason YouTube is doing this, but it looks bad. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see what they say. So, I mean, we'll find out, and, I'm sure we'll figure it out. But right now, it's kind of like, man, all the hype right now, though, is the Miro podcast. I will say that. Everybody's talking about Miro's podcast, so I did not hear even a single minute of it. I really wanted to, so I could at least give some kind of little impression of it or whatever, what I was thought I was hearing and whatever else. I heard nothing of this. Did anybody hear Miro's podcast?
Yeah, I've got some direct quotes too. I don't know, Famous B, if you had a chance to hear the AEW Unrestricted podcast with
I haven't.
But
I got to check it out.
It's apparently an excellent listen. I've yet to hear it myself. I've got some direct quotes here though. Rusev was talking about his departure from WWE, and he said that they wanted Lana and had Lana say I was a sex addict. The original pitch was that I have erectile dysfunction. They really wanted to kill me completely. I don't think in anybody's eyes how the babyface has erectile dysfunction that he's a good guy. There's nothing wrong with people who have erectile dysfunction. People take care of it. But that was not the case here. There was no coming back from it. Absolutely no coming back from it. I told them, Vince, this is going to bury me completely. He already had the man who took my wife, and then I have erectile dysfunction, and I'm going to lose? I wasn't supposed to lose. That just changed with time. I said it was better if we do the sex addict thing, and he went for that right away. Thank God I did not have erectile dysfunction as a character.
Oh, my God.
Wow. I mean, you think about it already. They cucked him out. They made him lose his wife, and then he looked like a bitch. He got kicked out of many arenas. Lana slapped him around. He got arrested, and then he lost the 2 or 3 matches that he had against Bobby Lashley, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your outro. That's your ending. What the hell?
I don't know that's hilarious. So wait a minute. So he didn't actually have a podcast on his podcast. He was on the AEW podcast. Is that what you're telling me? Like he was on their show.
Yes, their AEW Unrestricted podcast.
Okay, so I thought like he was launching his own podcast. I'm like, oh
no. He was this week's guest. Last week was the Butcher and the Blade. Week before, I believe, was Eddie Kingston.
Okay, I thought it was like, oh my god, he's got his own everything. Like
the Eddie Kingston one was really good. So Aubrey Edwards, excuse me, and Tony Schiavone host the podcast. So
yeah, I can't stand them, so I don't listen to it. What was that, B?
It's not a bad listen, honestly.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I like Tony.
I was just gonna say it's really surprising to me that this information, or he wasn't a guest, or this information wasn't aired out on the Jericho podcast, just like Moxley's was. Only because it's under the banner AEW. You know what I mean? It's called AEW Unrestricted, right?
Yeah, but. Yeah, maybe, and maybe they planned it, but maybe, do you think, that Jericho podcast gets really recorded early. Do you think that maybe did he record that knowing he signed with AEW already? Because I've heard some people on Jericho's, I've heard, for instance, Cash and Dash, or whatever the hell they're called now, they were on Jericho's podcast, and they were talking like they hadn't been signed yet.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
because it kind of seems like you can have like a more of that shoot interview style kind of like talk, because you're just talking to another one of the boys, kind of like about life and wrestling, how's everything going from like from a personal perspective, you know what I mean? Versus where I would think, and I haven't heard this yet, but I would think on AEW Unrestricted, it would be more geared toward, the talk would be more geared towards the AEW storylines per se, and things like that, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like he dropped the bomb on AEW Unrestricted.
Yeah, and why couldn't he could have dropped the bomb on Jericho? Because that didn't have anything to do with being in AEW. He could have bashed WWE there if he wanted to. So you're right. I mean,
so that's what I'm tripping off of. Like,
maybe he was maybe he was like in the honeymoon phase of the AEW then, so he was like happy about the world and everything. And now he's like, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to say all this stuff. Maybe he's just changed. Maybe he just decided, fine, fuck. I've done that. I've been places and I've been like, let me just be cool or whatever. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, fuck it. And I blow up, So maybe that's all it is. But you're right. I'm sure Jericho's probably jealous. But in a way, I guess it works out because, right? So you get Miro, right, on his first podcast. You're the first one to get Miro. You're the first one to get Rusev, so that's like a big promotional thing right there. Like, oh my god, we got to hear what he says. And then I guess AEW gets to have Miro drop the biggest bomb. So probably more people hear the Jericho podcast, right?
Yeah, more than likely.
Maybe not
Jericho
now. Maybe everybody will go over to AEW's,
but he also said about how he suffered in WWE, and he said that he didn't have anything planned to leave, but he knew. He said, I didn't have anything planned. It was at a point I was really unhappy. I did not go out there. I did not make a big fuss. Once again, it was the Stooges. It was the Stooges that found out that I wanted to leave, because there was only one person that I went up to and said, Mark, I want to leave. He said, go ahead, bro. We can make it happen. That was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, whenever it was. Of course, nothing happened, but the internet found out about it the same day.
Wow.
So he's right about that.
So you're telling me he's saying that what's
that
his name?
They leaked that news story.
No, but Mark, what's his name? Mark, he's like the talent guy.
Carano.
Carano, yeah, Mark Carano. So Carano, potentially Carano is the leaker.
Yep.
Because everybody confides.
That's huge.
Everybody confides and talks to him, and it seems like everybody keeps saying that everything they said leaked like 2 seconds later. In fact, they were super surprised about it. So I don't think there's anything to be surprised about anymore. Mark Carano's a rat. That's all it comes down to, everybody. Because unless it's Mark Carano is blabbing to somebody right away and they're leaking it. Those are the only two things. Either somebody that Mark Carano talks to immediately after talking to wrestlers is leaking it, or it's Mark. But doesn't he just relate to Vince doesn't he respond to basically directly to Vince McMahon? So So it's either Mark or it's some other person. It ain't
because Mark's supposed to be his go-to and the one that handles talent relations.
I know that Ryback said Pat Buck was a squealing piece of shit, but Pat Buck wasn't there when things leaked before, so it ain't Pat Buck. And
Miro also said that there's no one for anyone in WWE to talk to, in the sense of like it's impossible to get a meeting with Vince. It's difficult to have anyone to talk through if you're going through a mental breakdown. He said Direct quote here is, "You can't go nowhere to complain. Once you go to complain somewhere, it leaks right out. So who do you tell? If you're unhappy, who do you go to tell? Because you can't get a meeting with the big boss. That's just impossible. You go to whoever you were supposed to, and it leaks to the dirt sheets. So where am I going? Where do I complain? People have mental breakdowns, and there's nowhere to complain. It blows my mind." And he's right, and that's why we always hear about how negative and toxic the locker room is in WWE. And this goes right into one of the points I wanted to bring up here, is that Jon Moxley was speaking with Bleacher Report and basically went through the creative process with Tony Khan and AEW. He says, "I'll talk on the phone with Tony Khan. We'll throw some ideas out, and whoever I'm working with, we'll have ideas together. Then we'll go there. We'll plan about 6 weeks of story, if not more. We'll do it. It doesn't get changed on the day of, and nobody messes with it. Not that I'm above talking about creative direction, but he's basically saying that they make a plan and they stick to it. Now,
Right.
if something unforeseen happens like COVID, that's different. But they're not going to go ahead and rewrite the script an hour before the show is supposed to begin."
Yet they say that Vince does that like almost every other week. That's the big headline. Oh, Vince ripped up the script again. So which one is it? I don't feel like he does do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. It seems to be continually that he does this. I mean, we've heard it time and time again that Vince, he in the middle of Raw, he just finished writing the script. So it goes against, what you'd think would be happening, but it seems to make sense with all the reports we hear.
Let me just see if everything's good here. I feel
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm back. I lost all sound to you guys for a second there.
Oh, really? Yeah, sometimes you got to log in and out.
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, it was a headphones issues. Like, I don't know,
Oh.
like all sound just went out, but I'm back with it. So the last couple seconds, you guys were going over Vince. Like, what happened with Vince?
I just think that they always say he rips up the script and stuff, and then I was saying like Mark Carrano.
Right.
I feel like Carrano's the leaker in WWE.
That's why I wanted to bring that up, because it really seems that way.
Yeah, everybody talks to him, and then what really tips me off is that Dash Wilder and whatever the hell they're called now. Someday I'll remember the new name. They said something to him, and the next minute, everybody was texting them. Yeah. So then they couldn't believe it, and that Carrano's the guy that they go to. I mean, they also went to Triple H, but it's got to be Carrano. I mean, Triple H wouldn't be fucking talking to Meltzer. I doubt it. Meltzer seems solid.
I doubt that as well.
Yeah.
But I could picture Mark doing it, and it makes sense because Mark's in that position where he would have, he's the go-to, so he would have the know of the day. He would know all the news stories and whatnot.
Maybe he feels underpaid or something. How much? I don't know. Like, what's Meltzer paying? What's somebody paying him? Maybe he makes them compete for it.
Yeah, Miro also backed up what Moxley said by saying that Tony Khan, when they're planning things. Miro's first meeting, he said, "What can I say?" And Tony said, "Whatever you want, go for it. What do you want to say?" So that's interesting as well, that they are giving these guys creative freedom.
Yeah, we
don't know how much that's going to bite them in the ass, but we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of times that's kind of what they say, is like they get to say just about anything. So, I mean, that's sort of the Paul Heyman thing. Tony Khan is doing the Paul Heyman ECW thing, if that's the case. Like, go out there and tell them what's on your mind. That would explain too why there's really no order to what he was really saying. Like, okay, here's the idea. You're going to be this best man, and you're coming in with this guy like your friends, and you're going to come out here and just say whatever you want. Get it all off your chest, and we'll just go from there, And that's why he's like, oh, I'm the best man, and then he says a couple things, and then he rants about, WWE basically, and then which is all right. They said the same thing, I think, to X-Pac, and he went out there and fucking buried WCW pretty well, and that's a legendary night in promo. So many guys in ECW did the shit out of it. Every time somebody came in, hey, tell everybody how you feel, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hey, Eric Bischoff, fuck you, and I'm fucking Stunning Steve, and his promos in ECW were great. Most of those guys, and I think Tony Khan knows that and was like, I don't think anything can be better than your actual feelings. So go out there and do it. So I don't think the promo was that bad. I thought I just would have left the video game stuff out of it. I think he couldn't help himself. So it's not like someone went, go plug your Twitch channel. He's dressed weird, I don't know. I don't care what anybody
now that they
says.
brought Billy Mitchell into it, they're really, besides them being in an arcade for their promo as well, they're really pushing that video game angle now.
Yeah, and I like the Billy Mitchell thing, and I like the arcade and stuff like that. But again, like most people don't know what the fuck's going on. So like your average person doesn't know who the hell he is. I mean, we do, and like
yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying is they're really reaching to that nerd culture. They want the video game enthusiast to think that this guy is awesome.
Yeah, like basically most of the people watching though didn't know who he was, or
most people didn't know,
or they're not even the nerd culture that would know that. But if Famous B was there, like in the background, he was like, and he just smiled with his glasses, more people would say like, "Oh shit, Famous B's in fucking AEW." You know, more people would know who Famous B is from the Lucha Underground stuff than this guy, who's like a legendary, gamer and stuff. But it's like, it's different. I don't know, man. Like more people would know.
Completely different levels.
And I just don't. But I like it because I get it, and I like that, and that really gave me nostalgia seeing him and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it. I was happy about it. So I'm not even trying to complain because I did like it. I'm just saying that most wrestling fans though are like, what? You'd probably be better off bringing in some wrestling people or current pop culture people. If you had somebody who's like, currently involved in something, anybody like who's like a pop culture person, that'd be cool. Like, and to have them tweet out, hey, I hope everybody, like, this is wrong. Justin Bieber is like 10 years ago or whatever, but I'm just going to use him because I don't know who the hell and what the hell is hot right now. I don't even know. It'd be like, you know what I mean? I have no idea, bro. I've reached the age of like, I'm stuck in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah, pick a TikTok star.
Yeah, whatever. Like, have a TikTok star, and have the TikTok star just fucking TikTok out. Be like, hey, be watching AEW wrestling tonight on TNT. Your boy's gonna be in a commercial, maybe. I might make an appearance or something like that. And then his whole TikTok is like, what the fuck's that? TNT? All right, I gotta watch. And then all of a sudden, like, he's the one in the gaming, in the game room with Miro, and he's like, and he's just got something stupid to do. It doesn't even matter what he's doing. It's just the idea of the cross promotion. This guy TikToks that shit out, and then 800,000 people see that on TikTok, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch you tonight." And then they're gonna go say, "You were great" on his TikTok, and I never seen this show. I used to watch WWE all the time. I kind of like this. Who's that? Like, I'm gonna maybe, you know what I mean? And so you gain. What do you think they gain if 800,000 people tune in to watch this doofus in the background or something? 5,000 maybe, 5,000, 20,000, 50,000. If you do something crazy on the show, maybe 100,000. But even if it's only 5,000, that's another 5,000 people.
It depends on who it is. I think a guy like maybe Travis Scott, if we're doing a cross-reference, a pop culture type of thing, a guy like Travis Scott, or maybe like a group like Migos would elevate and boost that, because we already know Migos are already wrestling fans. They did a song called Ric Flair Drip. You know what I mean? So it's like,
tell him Cactus Jack sent you with Scott,
right.
There's a lineage there. So yeah, I mean,
and this guy's doing everything right now. Travis Scott. I mean, he got a goddamn meal at McDonald's right now.
Yep. Get Ninja from Twitch. Get big, if you're gonna have, find big Twitch stars if you're gonna do this whole Twitch thing. And speaking of that, I mean, this is huge. I want to know how both of you feel about this. I was reading this earlier, and this blew my mind. Bad enough that WWE was telling everybody you can't have these third-party business relationships anymore. So Cameo, Twitch, all these type of things. But then we heard, all right, they are going to be able to utilize their Twitch account still and use them, but only under their real names. Well, now that's not the case.
Oh,
WWE is going to own those Twitch accounts run by the superstars. They have to hand over their Twitch accounts in 4 weeks.
Whoa.
And of all revenue and donations collected, the superstars will receive a percentage of the revenue. So WWE is taking a portion, and Twitch, don't forget, because Twitch takes their portion too. So now WWE is also taking a portion of your revenue from your stream. And worse than that, that money counts against your downside guarantee.
Wow.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
How fucked up is that?
That just makes... Okay, so in my opinion...
You're going to stream to pay WWE.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. If I'm a WWE talent, unless I'm making cream of the crop money. If I'm making cream of the crop money, maybe I stay. If not, I'm probably leaving, because here's the deal. If you have a decent Twitch and YouTube stream already, and then you can be signed by either AEW or just work independently, you can just make your own money.
And you'll likely make more money that way than you will with how it's going to turn out with WWE taking your revenue.
And you're your own boss. Let's take a look at this. Ready? I'm going to use Paige as an example. Paige's contract is coming up in, a year or two? I think 1 to 2 years Paige is coming up, if not earlier. I don't remember now, so I'm going off. I could be completely wrong. And I'm going to go to the donations in a minute. Speaking of money, I need to make money or I'm dead. So here's in the link, the chat down below, the Streamlabs Twitch alerts. It's in the description box. Fund me if you can down below, and super chat as well. Whatever you got to do. If you can, you can. You can. Whatever the fuck. But hopefully you can. So check it out. Okay, so the Great One. What's up, brother? Is that the real Great One, or is that a troll Great One? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't see his check mark, so I don't think that's him. But he's a good friend always. I love that guy. He's usually not awake the time we're streaming. Okay, so here's our calculator. Paige has 25,000 subscribers on Twitch. That means every month she's going to get at least $2.50. So times $2.50.
Yeah, for the 25,000. And that's not donations.
That's not donations. Forget donations. She's making $3,000 to $5,000 a week in donations. Okay, so take away donations though. $62,000 a month for Paige. Times 12. She's making $750,000 a year on Twitch.
She's making $350,000 with WWE, and her contract, I believe, expires in 2022.
So add
very early 2022.
Add $750,000 to that. That's nearly $1 million a year. And so we're not counting the commercials on Twitch, her ad revenue. We don't know what that is. We don't know what deals and endorsements could be. She'll probably get more money in donations if she stream more. So let's say she's making about $1 million a year. So she's making $1 million a year on Twitch. That's just Twitch. That's not even YouTube. That's just Twitch. So you're Paige, $1 million a year, and that's via you. That's the people. That's the people funding her.
And that's if the numbers don't go up. If they just stay the same,
they could go down.
She's increasing though.
Right.
It's just going to keep going up.
They could go up. They could go down. They'll probably go up a little bit. And if they go, especially if she left WWE, if she leaves WWE and then she just starts announcing like where to find me is Twitch. Like she'll have 30 to 40,000 subscribers, and then on top of that, she's going to do meet and greets, autograph signings. She doesn't even need to wrestle ever again. She can do guest referee spots or something like that. Whatever, she can get paid by appearances.
Absolutely. Right. She could just be a personality anywhere she goes in the business. She can host conventions. We can, it's a lot of things you can do outside of just working in a ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. There's so many things you can do, and you can do virtual hangouts. You can do an OnlyFans. She could do a virtual hangout where she talks to you.
Well, that's Sonny's gimmick.
No, dude, I'm telling you,
everybody's got Skype cornered.
No, dude, I'm telling you,
she got that sewn up, bro.
Dude,
everybody like, no, you're not stealing my gimmick.
Everybody is on OnlyFans right now. Even if you're on OnlyFans, it doesn't mean you're naked.
You don't have to do nude. You can just do lewd stuff, and
it's just a Patreon.
Leo
that's
Rush
all it is.
Just signed up for OnlyFans.
Who?
Leo Rush.
Oh, Leo Rush. Yeah, Leo Rush has an OnlyFans. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing an OnlyFans, and, like, I'll do, like, weird, goofy sexual pictures, like, of me.
Oh, one of the podcasts I listen to, Legion of Skanks, they just do an extra podcast on OnlyFans. And it's free. You don't have to pay anything. It's just on there, but you have to make a membership to listen to it. But they're looking for podcasts and stuff as well. So
yeah, I'll hit them up. I mean, I just want to... I might do something different as a gimmick, but I mean, a lot of people are on there. It's just a Patreon, but does Paige have a Patreon too?
I don't know. She has her clothing line. I mean, that's what Adamant just brought up as well, but she's got her hands in many pots, so she's okay.
Well, now does she have to use her real name? I forget.
I don't know how it's working. So at first they said yes, they could use their own names, not their WWE given names. And then there was some issues with people that, were using their own names like AJ. And then it kind of just kept spiraling. And now Vince is just going to take ownership. So we got to see what's going to happen.
You know what's disgusting is that Dirty Sheets guy has a Patreon. That Bill Bahati disgusting person.
Yeah, that
sicko has a fucking Patreon. What a weirdo that guy is. That guy is fucked up. I mean, I wouldn't want to take. I wouldn't say he shouldn't have one like legally, but I mean, he's just wow, what a greasy person. And like Russo works with him now or something too, which is wow,
oh really?
Wow. I mean, you know, I used to think Russo isn't a woman basher or whatever. Maybe he is. Like,
Bro.
I mean, bro. Bro, I am not. I'm not
about my co-host, bro.
Did you talk about my? I am not a homophobe. Remember when he said that? Homophobe. I defended him against Cody Rhodes, man.
Yeah.
I defended Vince against Cody Rhodes, and Cody heard it because he said something in the Twitter thing. And guess what? Then he came on the show a year later, 2 years later.
Right.
So you know that's why I like Cody. I know Cody said that, you know, Vince is like banned or something like that from his from AEW or whatever, or that he's he said homophobic. But you know, Cody's pretty, you know, I don't know. I think Cody says that, but I think Cody also in his mind knows, like, you know, I said that because I wanted to make a point, but you know, I still would. I think he would accept. I don't know, man. I don't know. He seems like he doesn't like Vince though, but
Bro, how could you call me a homophobe? I created the Goldust character.
Yeah, I created the Goldust character, bro. This guy was basically a full-on fag. All right, so there's no way that I'm anti-gay. I held Pat Patterson's hair while he peed, bro. Bro, he was peeing in the bathroom, bro. Bro, next to me. I don't know, bro. Like I used to be able to do Vince too. But Famous B does have his cadence down. I'll say that. It's pretty good.
A little bit.
It's pretty good.
We have a new member of the JCS Army.
Drew Bar, thank you, man. What's up, Drew Bar? Drew Bar is member again, baby. Hit that join button down below if you guys like the Out of Nowhere show. Anything? Well, Jake, what else you got? I know I probably babbled on too long there.
Let's see here. WWE had mentioned that before the pandemic that they might do an NXT Underground show. So it was actually being discussed at one point in time.
Oh, boy.
According to Fightful, there was a pilot for the event shot at the Performance Center in summer 2019, which would have been the setting of the event. And we were told, you know, that it was a Ryan Katz project. So it would have featured talent from Evolve and other NXT stars who aren't on the Wednesday night show. Obviously, the idea is scrapped. Evolve is no longer around since it was purchased by WWE. But that's where they originally had the underground gimmick coming to light, was on NXT. So I wonder how it would have worked then, if it would have been taken more serious under the NXT banner, if it would have lasted longer, you know?
Wait, so are you saying that Evolve doesn't exist? Like they're not even, they basically shut them down, bought it to shut it down?
I haven't seen them do anything with it since WWE purchased them. So I thought they were, once they were bought out, it was kind of like done and over with.
Does that mean that Anthony Green is currently signed with the WWE in some weird way?
Since WWE bought them out, I would imagine so.
Good on AG, man, and all the other guys. That's the pin to the top of my post on Twitter is me calling Brian Pillman Jr. and AG Anthony Green, and I think AG was signed to Evolve for some kind of developmental thing, so he might be in the WWE pipeline. It's amazing, man. I can't.
Yeah, because they're using it as a scouting, obviously, you know, program.
Mm-hmm.
But July 2nd of this year is when Evolve was officially purchased.
Evolve has become their new OVW, with NXT kind of being, I feel like. But
Right. But without people coming through there and them having consistent shows anymore, like how do they keep that going? And that leads to my next question: where does Gabe Sapolsky fit in all this?
Well, okay, that's a really interesting thing. So first of all, maybe because of COVID, they're just not doing anything. Maybe that's it. But what is Dave doing? Is he out? Is he even in the company? Like, I don't even know.
Because obviously you have to consult him if they're working, you know, with that company, because you know he's over that company.
The last thing I have here is Evolve 146, Joe, March 1st, 2020.
So that's right. So that's the COVID. So
that's the pandemic, but they were bought July 2020. So.
Oh wow. Okay, wait a minute. So here we go. I figured out what's
up. They were
up.
bought during COVID. They were bought.
Yeah, and I see right here it says Evolve Championship. Last champion Josh Briggs. Date retired July 2nd, 2020. So it says date retired. So that makes me think that it is no more.
I just called Josh Briggs too. What is everybody that I do commentary gets signed by the WWE. Everybody come out and be a part of a show so I can do commentary, so you can be signed by WWE. No, Josh Briggs was at New England All-Star Wrestling not that long ago. So maybe he sold it because of this. Evolve owner Gabe Sapolsky says he will pay all wrestlers after being called out by David Starr. That was the last article on him that I see. So he might be having money issues, and right as I think Dave's having money issues. I think things were falling apart. Mm-hmm. And I think when COVID started, he had been in talks already with the WWE about, like, maybe you guys just buy this. And I know they were working together, and I know that WWE had some kind of piece of Evolve, and they were putting the Evolve stuff on the network and all the other stuff. Lots of the guys from Evolve were coming over to NXT. But, yeah, he sold Evolve. And in January, he was being criticized as a carny promoter. And was just ripped.
No, not the guy who worked under Paul Heyman, of course.
Yeah, of course, not him. And as far as Evolve goes, they were less like an OVW and more just a place for talent to be scouted at. So they weren't homegrown talent that they were procuring and bringing into WWE that way. It was just, talent that was there that they could see how good they were. Former Evolve champion Josh Briggs was signed in early September to WWE. Big boy, 6'8" there. Briggs is a 4-year veteran and best known for his work in Beyond and Evolve. So there's that. And then Brandy Lauren, Kurt Stallion, and Joe Gacy are the other wrestlers to sign with WWE from Evolve. So,
wow. Okay, so everybody's not signed, and they bought the library.
Gacy is the former Evolve Tag Team Champion alongside AEW's Eddie Kingston. So
Evolve is dead, and they bought the library. So essentially, Evolve is done. Evolve is gone, and they bought the library. That's all it is.
Yeah, they own the rights to the library,
and they took a couple of talents that they wanted on their way out as well.
Wow.
Yeah, they signed 4 as of this writing. So
that's just too bad because, I don't know. I thought it was a good place for them to harvest talent over there.
Seemed like it.
But they also do it from Guerrilla too. So I haven't heard much of any Guerrilla shows, and that's obviously because probably the COVID, and they'll probably be back up and running soon when everybody else does as well, as soon as it's safe. But Triple H always looks into PWG too. So just as much as Evolve was kind of like a breeding ground for new NXT talent or talent signees, PWG still is as well. So you got to keep that in mind. They still have that.
Yeah, now they've got so many different areas I'm sure they're looking at. So it's not like they have one place. So you're right about that for sure. I mean, PWG, a lot of places. They're looking at a lot of places. Probably in the 30s. They look around at all places, but PWG is definitely probably a top place where they're always looking at it. So
Evolve brought you names like Gargano, Apollo Crews, Gulak, Keith Lee, Ricochet. There's tons of others, but
and these guys have been in PWG as well. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like if you were working consistently in either or, you have a very fair chance of being scouted and looked at period, on a first come first serve basis in terms of the companies, the promotions that you're working for.
So I got to go down to PWG to be a commentator. Is that what you're telling me?
Look at AEW. Look at you know what I mean? That's where they got Excalibur from.
Yeah, Excalibur. Yeah. Look at that. See, I'm on the wrong side of the country. No, I was just kidding. They've all heard of me. That's the problem. They've all heard of me. Yeah, they'll be looking everywhere. And by the way, Will Garvin, thank you, man, for going from $2 to $5 on Patreon. Thanks, man. Also, episode 6 of Off the Rails with Drew and Jesse is up on Patreon. In case anybody missed that earlier today, I did just want to throw that out there as well.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Good evening, George from Creative here.
Hello.
I am so pleased to announce that we have signed Famous B to pay per appearance contract. JB is also per appearance as he remains an indie talent. Bullfrog has been terminated. We should consider resigning Tommy.
Yeah, we basically have resigned Tommy and Bullfrog. So Bullfrog did his thing the other night, and we had fun. It was a great show, and now
excellent show, but it ran its course.
Yeah, and Bullfrog, of course, is just a scumbag. So whatever, he's all done. I will be uploading the fight that Bullfrog had with Dave, or the debate that Bullfrog had with Dave. I'm going to update the highlights of it. We're also going to update the highlights of his fight with Shell that he had as well. We're also going to upload the highlights that Bullfrog has had with me, for instance, saying he was going to shoot me with a weapon. We're also going to upload the fight that started it all when he came on the call with Tommy from 2 months ago or 3 months ago or whatever it was, and they had a fight, and it was insane. And it was authentic because they both came on. I didn't know they were going to fight, and then they just started fighting all of a sudden and whatever. So we're going to upload that. We're going to have and you guys can memoriam and go and listen to all of them and remember his battles. And rest in peace to him, though. He's all done.
Bullfrogs have more fights than Butterbean.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Which is okay because Bart Gunn would be scared. Where is Bart Gunn? That man, I'll never forget that WrestleMania. I'm glad it went that way, though. You know what I mean? Because imagine if they had kept boxing for round after round after round, and like that would have really slowed the whole show up. But like, you know, the fact that, you know, the entrances and then just boom, he's knocked out. It was like, wow, okay, that was
there
great.
goes that.
That was crazy. Look what happened when you got in there with a real fucking boxer. You know,
they showed Bart obviously when they did the brawl for all, and they covered it all. It was pretty interesting on the dark side of the ring segments there.
Right, I did see that. Hey, you know what I was thinking real quick? That the brawl for all concept. You know, like, you know, obviously now looking back on it, everybody shits on it. Like, you know that it was a horrible idea or whatever the case may be. But nowadays, if they would have did something like that on this Raw Underground kind of thing, that actually probably could have worked better than what they're actually doing now on Raw Underground.
The modern
to have
brawl
something
is
like that, you know, if you would have combined those two, I don't know, it probably would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been if they had done that or anything. I mean, even if they had fucking, you know, sort of had a purpose for it, that would have been nice, but we could tell there was no purpose for it.
Exactly.
Or just had an MMA fight. You know, why, you know, there's nothing, you know, and I don't know why they shit on the Brawl for All so much because, you know, basically they get criticized for, the danger of the dangers and everything. It's like, well, the MMA is dangerous. Right. Everybody loves that. What the fuck's the difference? So just be like, hey, we're doing an MMA thing. They're signing waivers. Fucking big whoop. Why is WWE criticized like, a guy could be injured? Well, no shit. The UFC does it. Why doesn't anybody worry about that? I mean,
I personally didn't mind it either back in the Attitude Era.
I didn't mind it either.
Granted, I was a teen, I was a teen, I was a lot younger, obviously, but I didn't mind it. I don't think it took away from the show. I don't think that it made the wrestling portion of the product look like any different or sillier. Like, it did its purpose. It served its purpose in the show, for what it was worth, and it didn't take away anything from me as a fan at that time. Does that make sense? So it's like I don't really understand either, like how they're like, like, man, this was a terrible idea. Like, it was actually interesting to me at the time.
I don't know. The only thing I can compare it to is like the destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD. If you ever watch that, the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, they just bury him, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, listen, I know he wasn't the greatest thing, but like
they wanted to tarnish him entirely. That was their whole objective there.
That's what the Brawl for All fucking stuff feels like whenever they bring
the Brawl for All was all set up apparently, allegedly by Russo to beat up JBL. They wanted to knock out JBL. That's how the whole Brawl for All started. That's the origins.
Right, and that didn't work out so well. They brought in Dr. Death. They thought he was going to win the thing. I thought
that didn't happen.
Because that's what I mean. Raw. Yeah, Jim Ross claims they brought it in so Dr. Death, they were like, well, he's going to beat everybody, and then he's going to look like this legit fucking badass, and then we're going to have him feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin. But then he loses the Brawl for All, like, pretty early.
It's like everybody had their agenda, and everybody had their boys that they kind of like, picked to be like,
that they backed, and then unfortunately,
you know what I mean?
Shoot fighting happens, and somebody
who actually ended up winning was Bart Gunn, who was nobody's boy but himself's. He's like thinking in the back and said, I'm gonna whoop everybody's ass. He was nobody's boy or nothing, so all the agents was molded.
Agents were pissed because they wanted him to throw it.
Yeah, probably.
They wanted him to basically take a dive at one point.
Right. But now they're telling them, okay, they're giving them extra paydays to go out there and do a quote unquote shoot, but yet still trying to work the boys. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Only a wrestler, man.
Oh,
Come
absolutely.
That's
What a
hilarious.
fiasco.
I would have, and you would
I
have known
want you
too.
to do this work. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go out there and get a little work in. You know, it's going to be a shoot, but it's still a work. You know what I'm saying? It's a work shoot. Work, shoot.
It's a work shoot. It's a shoot worked, shoot work. It's crazy. I don't even know. Yeah, it's really weird. It's like
Just get out there and punch each other.
you'd know though if you'd be like if you're going up against at the time Dr. Death, you're like, oh, this is the fucking guy. They brought this guy in to fight Stone Cold. Like, I'm gonna get fired. I don't know, man. That's weird. I would have never. I didn't.
But
know
I
that.
would imagine, like, for example, if I was Bart, I would imagine that no. If I knock this guy out, I'm taking his spot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I would've thought.
Exactly. You're like, well, fuck Dr. Death. I'm gonna face Stone Cold. I'm gonna be the number one heel in this company tomorrow. Which is kind of what I thought would happen, like, in a way, like you were like, oh, and but that's why instead of fighting Butterbean, but I mean, what would you do? Because, Stone Cold ended up fighting The Rock at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So like, what would have happened? What would have happened if Dr. Death beat the shit out of everyone and he did win that? Like, was he just?
I don't know I think they would have just held off to the pay-per-view afterwards to bring him into that.
So, someone has to remind me when the Brawl for All really was taking place, because like by the time it ended, like how was he going to face Stone Cold before The Rock? I don't remember the time period. So,
well, it was 98. Brawl for All was in 98.
Yeah, it was 98. So you're looking at 14, not 15.
No, but Bart Gunn fought Butterbean at 15.
At 15, yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I'm thinking, oh no, because it started after June 98. All right, that's what it is.
Yeah. So like, if he fought but The Rock, so you're telling me The Rock wasn't going to be the guy, or would it?
No, The Rock would have that was still the plan. But I'm thinking they would have just had Dr. Death won it. God knows what he would have done at Mania. But I think that they would have continued that, him and Austin idea after Mania.
Well, because I think that Bart Gunn facing Butterbean was the consolation in a way for Butterbean. I think for Bart Gunn rather. I think if Bart Gunn had not won and Dr. Death had won, Dr. Death wouldn't have fought Butterbean at WrestleMania. You would essentially think have fought Stone Cold, or he would have fought Stone Cold before Mania, setting as like the guy that Stone Cold has to beat. So what I'm asking is, who was Stone Cold feuding with and beat before The Rock at WrestleMania? Because that's probably who. That would have been Dr. Death.
Vince McMahon.
Was
he was feuding basically with Vince McMahon.
Okay, so so we know that he feuded with Vince because they had a lack of heels.
And that's when he's doing stuff with The Undertaker, the Highway to Hell, right?
Well, that was SummerSlam. SummerSlam was Highway to Hell.
SummerSlam. And then it got to the point where
June, so
okay.
Right. But then it got to the point in early 99, where they brought in Big Show, like in February for that St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yep.
So that was the track that he was kind of on, so to speak. It was all like dealing with Vince's shit, like around that whole entire time.
So to me, what happened is they got lucky and they'd built The Rock up so good that they were like, well, we got to go with The Rock. He's the hottest thing. So like, okay, it's The Rock and Austin. But before that, they had nothing but Vince, and then after that, they had nothing but they brought in the Big Show. So to me, that tells me that Dr. Death was going to play a role either after WrestleMania or probably before WrestleMania to set up maybe Rock and Austin.
Maybe not even, because if I'm not mistaken, at Survivor Series 98 is when The Rock became the corporate champion, right?
No, because The Undertaker was facing
or was that
Stone
99?
Cold. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, Survivor Series.
Yeah, Survivor Series is when The Rock won because Shane screwed everybody in Deadly Games.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that was in 98, right?
Right.
Yeah, it was in 98 going into 99.
Right. See, so they were already on a collision course towards WrestleMania already. Rock
that was already set. In the
it was already
cards.
set, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the Butterbean fight was a punishment. See, that wasn't their plan.
Right.
Butterbean was never their plan. And I wanted to go find the quote. So Bob Holly said the Guns' loss to Butterbean was a punishment for defeating the company's desired winner, Steve Williams.
Of course.
So there was no WrestleMania match planned because the Brawl ended in August 24th.
Right.
So now flash forward all the way to WrestleMania 15. They just, that was their plan then, to have Bart Gunn get his ass kicked, and this is how we're going to do it. 35 seconds in the ring, you're going to get your ass knocked out.
Yeah, and they probably said, like, fucking put him in there with a real fucking guy. And they probably figured if he knocks out Butterbean for some weird reason, right? Now their guy's famous.
Now they've got a made man.
Or what probably would have happened
if they really wanted that to happen, then they would have probably put a couple extra dollars in Butterbean's pocket and said, hey, take a dive.
Well, there's the problem is if Bart Gunn really did somehow ever knock out Butterbean, probably nobody would have believed it was real. They would have said, oh, the wrestling thing, they worked it into something, like it's a fake, so like it really was kind of no-win situation, but I think they figured, fuck it, if he wins, that'll be press everywhere, and if he doesn't win, then fucking he gets what he deserved anyway. Fuck him.
Right.
So, yeah, that was definitely a spiteful. It might even been fucking Pritchard, because didn't Pritchard fucking run that deal afterwards? He wasn't happy with it at first or something. I don't know. It was Vince Russo's deal, like you said, but I don't know. That could have been the thing that fucking ended shit with Russo too at that point. Although Russo left because Vince was like, "Fuck your family," basically. And okay, I remember now. Okay, forget that. But whatever. Anyway, that's interesting. I don't know why we went into that, but I would have.
Sorry.
No, it was my. I enjoyed the shit out of that. I'm just saying, some people are probably like, I'm fucking 19. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But that was really, you know what I mean?
Well, going with the one thing after another, friend of the show, Lars Sullivan, is coming back to WWE soon.
Friend of the show, go fuck yourself in the ass, you fucking idiot.
The one, the only.
Fuck out of here. That's all we need is that guy. Fucking the white supremacist guy is a fucking friend of the show.
I'm the only friend of the show. No, Jake. I am the only friend of the show, bro. I am the only friend of the show.
Famous B is the original friend. How about Drew?
Famous B is the only friend we need.
I remember when Drew McIntyre
I like that.
Drew McIntyre referenced something that happened on Monetize This once, and I was like, what the fuck? You saw that?
Yeah, that was great.
The fuck did you see that? This fucking guy watched Monetize This.
How badass is that? So after Lars is, just he was amidst a sea of controversy. $100,000 fine also came his way, but in creative, apparently his name is coming up quite a bit. So Triple H tried to act coy, like he wasn't aware of the workout videos that Sullivan has been posting online, but obviously they're aware. They know what's going on. He was booked to face John Cena last year at WrestleMania. Then that didn't, or the year before, excuse me, that didn't happen. And, he had an anxiety attack, went back to Colorado. He eventually returned, and then Cena was unavailable. And then he ended up injuring his leg, and that was it. And we haven't seen Lars for over a year.
I want to say that I am happy he didn't kill himself, because I was worried. I thought, and not that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If he really was like a racist person, like, obviously fuck him. But I don't know if that's true. I don't think it is, but you never know. But, I mean, I'm surprised. I was worried that guy was going to kill himself, because I'll tell you,
WWE was worried too, and they want to bring him back. They really have a hard on for him in some regard. I'm not quite sure what it is about him that they like so much, but anybody else would have even just one of these things, I feel, against them.
I wouldn't even be. I know that some people will be like, "Oh, you're a fucking pussy idiot." I wouldn't even be able to be in the company unless I went around to all the black wrestlers and I was like, listen, this is what I did. Like, do you understand? Like, I wouldn't even be able to function if people thought like I was like some kind of fucking weird racist guy who wrote shit on fucking. So like, if people believe that, I know that this is stupid, but like, I wouldn't even be able to fucking, I wouldn't be able to be there. I'd be like, I can't be here. Even if they were like, just stay in your own locker room and stay away from me. If people thought that, I'd be like, I want to die. Like, I don't want to be here.
Exactly, and he was getting a lot of heat from Big E and others in the back, rightfully so.
So
I mean, some of the stuff he said was very, very weird, which we've covered in length.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be all right until Big E was all right.
I would be the same way. I'd be destroyed. I'd be devastated.
I'd be like,
that would wreck me.
I'd be like, fuck, man, these people really think this is who I am. Like, but unless he is like that, and then I don't know, but. Those.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know with him, and it always seemed very odd by the way he spoke and wrote. And
I remember I defended it, and then I think you read the blogs, and I was like,
"Yes, we went and we read them." And It was.
I mean, but you know what? You could read stuff that I had done back in the day, and like it's pretty rough too. You know, to be honest. But so that's why like.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, but we tried to take it as in context as possible when we read it, because we read, the quotes before and after as well. Like we really tried, to sum that all up as best as we could.
We tried to be like, is this a joke? Is he joking? What is he doing here? What's the goal? What's the context of this? You know, like what exactly?
Yeah, it really just came across very hate-filled more often than not. I think some of the times you can tell he was joking and being a shithead and just trying to troll, and but other times it was very awkward too.
I don't know, man. I don't know what people...
And then all the adult film business stuff came up as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The gay porn.
Yep. So WWE wants to bring him back, and I've heard this report more than once over the past month, but they don't know when or how. Right now, their tentative plan is to do something at the draft, which I don't think is a bad idea. If you're going to do it, why not do it then? That's a perfect time to bring somebody back. But they're worried, will the fans forget about Mitch Bennett? I don't know.
Mitch Bennett is the gay porn thing, right? The name?
Yeah, that's his actual...
Who cares about that? I don't give a shit about the gay porn stuff. I'm worried about the racial stuff. I don't give a fuck about it that he was... I don't care if he got fucked in his mouth, ass, and fucking grundle. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit about that.
Somewhere Luther Reigns is sitting on his couch like, yeah, you're right, bro. Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude.
I know it's a very short few people that's gonna get that, but it's hilarious. Joe, you know what's up.
I'm gonna fucking die, dude. I got like a headache, and I'm like being really calm tonight. Like, let me just, and that's every tremor that I'm having right now hurts my fucking lobe. Oh,
hey, we're having a record night here. We went from Paige's Twitch to the Brawl for all the way back to Lars Sullivan. We're making progress.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a SJW, I don't know. I don't remember what he said now, but I don't know, bro. What do you do? Like, if only Famous B was all the black people in the company, then he'd probably be all right, but...
I love everybody, man. I do. I love everybody.
I think it takes a lot for Famous B to hate you. It takes a lot, I think with there's some guys where you just say to them, hey, man, I was posting dumb shit back then. It's not really how I feel and how I felt, and fucking, you'd be like, I get it, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, I did it for, but it was part attention seeking, part to troll. And I'm sure people would get it, but
I mean, listen, I'm trying to, there's no comparison for it, there really isn't, for me. But, I was friends with Minnesota Boy for a little while, and Minnesota Boy was like, dude, kill white people and shit. And I was and I was friends. I tried to be friends with the guy, and fucking we did the podcasts together and everything, and by the end of it, he was like, yeah, bro. I'm like, so you want my family to die, dude? And like, you think I should be like eradicated? And like, you really think that? Like, and by the end of it, he was like, nah, I like you. He's like, I admit I like you and all this stuff. And it was like, well, see, like, I forgive you for saying some of the stuff that you say, because I don't even think you really believe it. I think you're just angry. I think you're angry right now at white people for all these different reasons and whatever else. And I think that that's fine, but I don't think that you're really like a genocidal like psycho that really wants to see this happen. I think you're just saying this shit. And by the end of talking with him, I really believe that. I think he did have some strong words. I think he was saying some stuff that was really kind of evil, but I don't think he really, 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 really is that person. So if I can, like, that's the only comparison I have myself, to anything like this. And I don't know. So, like, I would think that if Big E was back there, he'd be like, all right, I get it. You were being a fucking idiot. And, you apologize, so we're cool. But, yeah, and why we got to keep talking about this is because it just keeps coming up. Every time Lars Sullivan goes away, this is the first thing that comes up. And so it's going to happen again. They're going to debut him again. If he comes back, they're going to debut him again. All this racist stuff that he said and weird. Some of it's not even bad. It's just strong opinions from a guy who's more right-wing leaning. There's nothing wrong with that. But the little bad parts, they're going to come up, and then the gay porn's going to come up again or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like, what are you going to do? I mean, it's going to come up every time. So what do? Do you false introduce? Because you could false, like, introduce him again, you know what I mean? So that people think he's coming back. So now all that shit comes out, and then nobody cares, and then 2 weeks go by, and then you really debut him again. That way, like, people kind of get it out of their system the first week. But are you really scared of that? You're scared of what? Twitter people getting mad, or what, everybody hearing what they already have heard again? I mean, what are you really mad about? And it's
what's crazy I'm sorry, Joe.
No, go ahead. No, I'm rambling.
I think it was. And for everybody that didn't get the Luther Reigns reference, like, I only said that because he was in Playboy, like, after his WWE run,
Yeah.
So he did, like, a couple of little things like that or whatever. For everybody that didn't get that little joke, inside joke or whatever. But going back to Lars, what's crazy is there wasn't a lot of talk of this when he was in NXT. Like, this happened like when he debuted, right? Like around the time he debuted, it's kind of like when all this kind of came out, so to speak, and when everybody was in like a uproar. But what about when they was pushing him in NXT? Nobody was saying anything. So do you take him now and put him back in NXT and maybe do something with Karrion Kross, or when he comes back, or just kind of like have him anchor the main event scene in NXT now for a while, and kind of come up with a plan to re-debut him, or what?
Do you remember, Jake? Wasn't it when he was about to come up? I felt like it was like
that when he was being pushed. I don't think it was when he was being pushed.
Yeah, I think it was when he was about to come up, but I'm not positive. I'm trying to remember. My memory is awful.
Yeah, it was
because if this was the case, they would have never brought him up. If he was getting all this backlash, they wouldn't have never brought him up. No, because
they brought him up at one point during the backlash.
Oh, I remember now. No, I remember, Jake. We heard about it a little bit before he came up.
Yeah, because he was one of the 4 that came up with NXT. It was him, Nikki, and 2 others.
And then he debuted, and then he went into hiding. He left. Remember, he had an anxiety attack and left like after his debut.
And we didn't see him for months and months on end, and he was supposed to face Cena, and he didn't end up doing that at Mania, and we're like, oh my God, he's never coming back. And then all of a sudden, he came back, he attacked the Hardys, and that was like one of the last things he did before he hurt his knee and was out for over a year.
Yeah, so
and that was WrestleMania 35 time.
We had heard about this stuff. Then. We had heard about this stuff, and so had he. So he knew, so that people knew kind of that this was that there was something going on, and nothing really happened with it. And then what happened was he debuted, and then after he debuted, then it really picked up all over the internet. Then everybody, because people started looking up who is he, and then people started bringing it up again, and then people found out, and he kind of had an idea that was a possibility. He knew that there was a possibility this could happen because he was already hearing it. Like right before he was debuting on main roster. So then I think when it went crazy, then he had the anxiety attack and he left. So
yeah.
And we knew it wasn't for performance because the guy can go out and wrestle big shows left and right all over the place. The guy never had an anxiety attack, before a wrestling match in his life. So it was the panic of the attacks on Twitter and that he's a racist and all these other things.
That's one of the things that they're, concerned about bringing him back. Is he going to have another, part of their concern?
By the way, does a racist have a panic attack, or wouldn't he just be like? Now, I mean, I guess you could say he was panicking over his career and his livelihood, maybe, but I mean, if you were really racist, wouldn't you just be like, "Fuck everybody"? Like, I don't like.
And it's hard to justify that even when the company is already standing behind you, when the company is still willing to push you, when the company hasn't fired you, when the company is willing to let you come back, when the company still has plans for you, when the company still has storylines for you, when the company is saying, okay, we're going to put you up against our fucking top guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
like, you're going to face John Cena at WrestleMania. That's
all that was, you get what I'm trying to say? It's like it can't be. He wasn't worried about his career because they were basically telling him, like, dude, you're the fucking man.
Well, but I mean, I think maybe he was worried that he was going to lose it because of this stuff. Like, I know that he thought, like, oh, the company loves me, but
he thought the backlash was going to be too severe.
He's like, oh shit, I'm going to be like a top guy coming in here. And oh my God, it's going to all get ruined. All my dreams, everything I worked for. I'm in that spot, but I'm going to lose it because of this social justice stuff that's going on. And they found all my posts that I made when I was an idiot. It'd be like someone
right.
Like, so you'd have an anxiety attack.
He knew when the company already knew at that point, I would assume.
Yeah, but no, that's true. But at the same time, they might not do anything unless people get angry about it. You know what I mean?
That's true too.
So he's freaking out because he's like, oh my God, they're gonna do something. Like, I'm gonna be, or if he's really innocent, like let's say he's not at all a racist whatsoever, and he's nothing even like the things that he was writing, then he would just have a panic attack personally. I've had it myself. I've had a fucking panic attack, man. I I said some fucked up shit one time, and like it was part of a thing, and it was taken wrong. And I'm telling you, man, this was like six years ago, and I was having a major panic attack. I thought I was gonna. I don't even want to say what I was thinking, but it was great.
Anxiety is awful.
Yeah, because like you're like this isn't me.
I contributed more to that.
Yeah, because you're like, this isn't me. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God, they're going to think,
right.
like, and you know what you said is, like, a fucked up thing, but you know it was a joke in your mind. But you're like, people nowadays don't give a shit about that. They want blood, and they're going to kill, like, they're going to come to my house. Like, I don't even, like, who knows what the hell's going to happen? I was just a stupid kid on a blog being an idiot, saying ignorant, stupid shit that I don't really hate people. Like, oh, fuck, I'm screwed. You know, so all that stuff might have made him have a panic attack, you know? If I went to WWE, I'd have to have a shrink ready. You know what I mean? I'd have to fucking, you know what I mean? I'd have to have a shrink ready. I'd have to fucking already
just for Vince, all for Vince.
Yeah, I'd have to have an announcement video that, you know, Joe Cronin was a character and I said all these things and, you know, it was a comedy character. I'm really Dan and I'm in the WWE and that has nothing to do with me, so it's not even me, bro. Stone Cold said the N-word in fucking Longest Yard. It's not because he's racist. It's because it was part of a script and he was a character, just like I'm a character. I'd have to have this big prepared fucking thing about me and my show and what I was saying back then in comedy and all these other things. Howard Stern used to say this stuff, but now he doesn't. I'm a better person too. It's an act. You know, like hell, you'd have to have a big thing prepared. You know, otherwise you'd just be like, look when he called this fucking autistic guy a fag or something. I'd have to have I'd have to have like a lawyer like ready. That's why like I'd never be hired. So you know, it's just like, then you could never hire Cornette anywhere either.
We'd have to dig up Johnny Cochran for you, Joe.
Yeah, you're right, and that'd be a great guy to have. He's black too, so why would he represent a white guy? This guy got OJ off. Why would he be helping me now? So it's like clearly he's not racist. And Johnny Cochran's fucking awesome. So yeah, dude, that would be the lawyer I'd hire. I'd fucking hire Johnny Cochran. Be a goddamn good lawyer.
You would hire Johnny's cock. Huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hire a white lawyer like to defend me against racism. I'd hire a black guy. Fuck yeah. And then what are you gonna fucking shit on the black lawyer judge? You know, come on. And Johnny Cochran's a mastermind anyway, so fucking. Roseanne should have hired him back just as a spokesperson when she had her Ambien attack and called that chick a monkey or whatever the fuck she said.
Like, I thought the bitch was white.
I thought the bitch was white. It's like she hates her even more, like blames her for it probably, like, so it's like she's pissed. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
I could just imagine Roseanne and Paula Deen have like poker nights on Thursdays and shit like that.
See, I think Paula Deen is like a racist person, but I don't think Roseanne is. I think Roseanne's just nuts. I think Paula Deen is though. I don't really know though. I hate to say that about anybody but I don't know. Paula Deen gives me like the vibes of she's probably a little fucking weird. But Roseanne, I think, is just nuts. I don't think she's racist. I just don't think she gives a shit. But I think Paula Deen reminds me of somebody who is.
Yeah, and I can imagine when you do comedy, you know, it's kind of like, you know, like you just kind of like joke about everybody and racism and stuff like that. You know, like,
once you
as a comedian, you know, but I mean, if you're a fucking cook, what the fuck business do you have talking about another race?
Yeah, exactly. The cook.
Exactly.
Well,
but once you cross one line, you know, and say, oh, that's too far, then everything's too far. That's the problem.
Exactly. It's like when people bitch about me, like people got butthurt today because, like, I couldn't even believe the people that got butthurt today, but these people got butthurt today over, I fucking tweeted, there's this guy who looks like the guy from the show that I guess Troy watches. You know, he watches some Schmodown thing or something, movie show. And so doesn't Haskell, like our buddy Haskell, who used to be around all the time. I haven't seen him in forever, but he used to be around all the time. And he like tweeted that it was the guy's birthday. And the guy who runs the show looks just like this guy who used to be on this King of the Nerds show or whatever. So on the show, like he like kind of rubbed up on this girl on the thing, and people were calling him like a molester or whatever. And the guy's not a molester. He was just fucking around on the show, but it was a joke that people called him a molester. So when I saw the guy, I said, hey, isn't that the molester from fucking the guy who molested this girl on the show? And they got like raging angry at me, like Troy and Haskell. They were like, dude, take this tweet down. What the fuck? And I'm like, dude, it's a joke. Like, what the fuck? I don't fucking know, dude. And so, I don't know. Anyway, I got to fight with them about that, and I fucking blocked them both on Twitter. Oh. They were going at me hard for just making this little joke. I'm like, I don't know, bro. Who gives a shit? And they were like, people are going to see this. They won't even know you're joking. I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a shit if people don't know I'm joking.
Exactly. Like,
how do you not know this isn't a joke?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I actually tweeted out this Joe
in the candy
Rogan
store,
clip.
right?
I tweeted out this Joe Rogan clip earlier to be like, yo, this is what I mean when I say that about that guy. Listen to this.
It's a standard. If we're going to apply a standard, it's a type of art, and talking shit is also a type of art.
Yes.
You might not like that type of art because it seems too much like a real statement.
Right.
And sometimes it is a real statement.
Right.
And sometimes it's just talking shit.
That's talking shit. Hey, isn't this the guy who molested fucking Panzer? It's like nobody believes that that's real. I didn't say this guy molested. You know, like if I said like, dude, this guy molested somebody and should be off the air or something like that. It's like clearly I'm like, hey, the guy looks like the guy molested.
Or just in reply.
It'd be like if I said like so this like any like you were just being ignorant comedy on purpose. Like say like Wesley Snipes like popped up in a feed and I wrote on below it. I'm like, yo, hey, isn't this the guy who knifed that white bitch? Like indicating like he looks like OJ and all black people look the same or something. Like it's a joke. Like obviously, it's like take that down. It's like, well, it's a joke. You know,
well, that's the thing. That Joe Rogan clip was like, you know, it was spot on. The clip was spot on. But the thing about it is people do not know how to decipher the difference between the two. That's the problem.
Well, and I said to him, well, here's one way to tell. Like, look at my fucking goddamn like bio on my Twitter. It says like comedian, moron, thoughts aren't my own. Like, it's like you'd be like, oh, that's some just fucking either a troll idiot or some guy who thinks he's funny. You know, and I'm no comedian. I'm just, I think, you know, I try to do comedy stuff, but like, I mean, I'm no comedian. I'm just, but a lot of this, I write that because a lot of things I do are jokes to, you know, and it's like, it's not supposed to be real, you know, or whatever. And so you write that to try to show people like, hey, don't take this too serious. Like Road Dogg kind of gets it. You know, Road Dogg was joking with us yesterday.
Yeah, he seemed to be laughing.
He's always got it. You know, he gets it. You know, but I get it, though, that some people don't get it. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, you're a scum. You know, it's like, but nowadays we need more people that are just like, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's a joke. Like, I don't care. Because so many people are uptight and crazy that it's like.
Yeah, just be a little less sensitive.
Yeah.
And it's coming from me. One thing we didn't get to was the AEW and NXT the ratings this week.
Here we go. Did we pick them last week? I don't remember now.
I don't think we got to pick for what we thought this week's was going to be, but
really, last night we didn't do it.
I don't think we got predictions out.
Do I want to guess?
Yes.
What,
I'm spoiled
on NXT? Okay, NXT I think is going to be horrible because like I didn't hear a damn peep out of those people last night, and it was a down week for wrestling anyway. So I think that AEW's ratings went lower, like 800 or 790, and I think NXT's fucking went down to like 610 or some shit.
And it was the game one for the finals, the NBA finals.
Right. Yeah. And, yep. Heat and Lakers. Fuck. Those ratings dropped. I bet.
So according to Meltzer, both shows started off really hot, especially Ricky Starks and Darby Allin. And then once the NBA game started, it just drizzled out. AEW saw, surprisingly enough, 866,000 viewers.
Wow, that's fucking great for them.
So that was great on their part, and that was after losing a substantial chunk of viewers, apparently.
I think 860 was my last week's pick, and that was right. Last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
You were spot on then, too. So NXT was...
No, I wasn't spot on this week. I was wrong right there. I was...
No, last week you were spot on.
Okay, last week I was. Yeah, this week I would have been wrong.
NXT brought in 732,000 with a 0.19 in the 18 to 49 demo. NXT was down 130,000 viewers roughly from AEW this week. So
what? Wait a minute. What did they hit again?
NXT brought in 732.
Oh my God! I'm shocked. I am.
It helps them from last week because last week they were at 696. So both shows went up this week, at least by 30,000 plus.
That's really good news for them, especially with the playoffs on. Even if it crashed a little bit, like that's really good news for them. And when the NBA is gone, there's going to be more people who are like looking for shit to watch and everything else.
And we'll see what happens as well for next week with the vice presidential debate being on at the same time.
Oh yeah, well
they usually drop. Anything political, they usually drop significantly.
Yeah.
They've even rebooked pay-per-views to match this. You know, because I remember that one when Ambrose was feuding with Ziggler for the Intercontinental title on one pay-per-view. Maybe you guys can help me with this, but they rearranged the show to where I think that match ended the show or something like that. It was something weird like that, but it was coinciding with something political that was happening that night. I think with Trump.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, I mean, maybe it will do well, but I think it's going to be boring, okay? Because I think Mike Pence, first of all, he's an evil piece of shit, but he's a robot. Kamala Harris is also evil, and she is full of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, so do you want to watch the lady who's full of shit say a bunch of stuff that you don't believe anyway, and just all I can think about is her locking black people up and, like, being like, ha, 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 ha. And Mike Pence, all I can think about him is wanting to control women's vaginas and black people. So, like, the two of them, between the two of them, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't think, I mean, you would think you would want to watch because you watched Biden and Trump, so I watched those scumbags debate. Wouldn't you want to watch these two? But no, because they're super boring. You know, Mike Pence is, like, so political, he's almost too political. He's like, he speaks with his hands up in a certain way like a robot, like, well, what I'm going to do is I will tell you I am going to put everyone to sleep with these rules. That's what I do. Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, if it was Trump versus Kamala, I would tune into that because that could be – because Kamala wouldn't sit there like Biden or Wallace.
Hell no. She'll start taking her earrings out like, no, hell no. I know you. What'd you say? She'd take her heels off and shit like that.
Yeah.
That would be epic.
What'd you say?
They should do that.
What'd you say to Hillary 4 years ago?
You don't know me like that.
Yeah, you said lock up Hillary 4 years ago. That's what you said. I think it'd be funny if maybe you were locked up this year. Like, fucking then Trump is like, I don't think so. And like, they're just going back and forth. Biden is like, come on, man. Fuck.
Biden was about to cry the other night, man. That dude was about to cry the other night.
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah, it sucks too because he's always had a stuttering problem. So Trump would just, play into that and cause him to trip up. He knows what he's doing. It was smart, but.
It was not, but you know what, though? A lot of people didn't like what he did. Even the right-wing people didn't. They were like, that was...
surprised. I thought more people would be into that because that's what they liked from Trump originally.
You saw a lot of people say that wasn't cool. Like, a lot of people said, I like Trump, but you know what? That was too much. Like, he was too much of a shithead. Like,
both of them look terrible.
They both look really bad. The whole country agreed. I mean, it might have finally united the whole country. The whole country looked at them and went, what are we doing? These are the people?
Give a shit. I do whatever I want. I don't give a shit. I really don't care. I don't care. I do whatever I want. I run this country. I don't care what you morons say. I don't care.
Sleepy Joe, get a blowjob from Kamala. That's why you hired her. You heard about how she does that in San Francisco or San Diego. Now you're going to get blown. How about that? Kamala Biden. You're going to be Kamala Biden.
Said,
what?
Joe, with that being said, I do think since it did go like that, and it was absolutely terrible, there is I think that there's a group of people that wants to see somewhat of a I don't know, like a resurgence in like dignity and decency in these debates. So I think people are going to tune in just for that to see like, okay, like, can we see something that has like some meaning and actual moral and like logic and like actual like you know what I mean? Like,
you're going to see
back to this shit.
I
want to watch to see if they can bring this shit back together because it's such a fucking circus.
You want to see a real debate, essentially. Yeah,
I don't think they're going to bring anything back to whatever, but yeah, Pence and Kamala are going to have a real debate. You're going to see two real political people actually have a debate tomorrow instead of seeing two guys over 80. One who's not a politician. You know, Trump is not a politician. He's a
reality show.
He's a wild card, man. He's the Joker. He's the Joker, bro. The country we elected the Joker because we were tired of all these other scumbags in politics. People said, I don't give a shit. Give me that guy because he's unlike anybody ever. They tried that with Bernie, but the left shut him down. The left illegally shut down Bernie. Illegally shut down Bernie in the DNC the first time, and The right didn't, though. They couldn't stop. They couldn't stop their Joker. The Joker and the wild card. It would have been Bernie and Trump. That would have been the Joker and the wild card. That's how crazy our country got. And now we're looking at things and like, fuck. You know what? Give us back the fucking. Just bring back the old scumbags. Fuck it. Bring back Kamala and fucking Pence. You know, Pence is a career politician guy. You know, and you know Biden is too, but Biden is so old and fucked up that he's a kind of a joker too at this point because he's on the verge of dying, it seems like. And then you got Trump. So I don't know, man. If those ratings, Kamala and Pence, I mean 73
million people tuned in to watch the debate.
Fuck, maybe.
Holy shit.
So this is what I'm saying.
Wait, can you say that again? Please repeat that.
I have 84 million, but
repeat that number.
Even if
again.
they do a quarter of that, like,
oh my god,
that's a shit ton of people. Even if they do a quarter of that, that's a lot of fucking ratings.
What's the NBA rating for the finals? 17 million, something like that.
5 million.
5 million? I thought it was way more than that.
I would have guessed 9. I would have guessed 9.
Was 10. This year's 5 because they said they're cut in half. And the last time LeBron, somebody just said in the chat, was in there, it was much more.
A lot of people won't watch the NBA right now. They think the NBA is like racist or something.
Yeah, but DJ Scandalous, he said 10 million last year, 5.3 million this year, 17.5 million the last time LeBron was in the finals. NBA is digging its own grave.
Well, they're done, man. The people feel like they're attacked. At least the white people.
Especially after all the China stuff happened, and then obviously COVID on top of it. Forget it.
And look at football too. You know, you guys were talking about how week 1 was drew terrible ratings as well.
Yeah, you pissed off the white people. You pissed off the ones that really will stop watching. I didn't even know that was possible. Do you know what I think might happen?
What's that?
I think so if things get better from here, right? Because I think they will, right? I think it's a seesaw. You know what I mean? Right. When you have things like this, you have one thing go wicked hard this way, right? It's gone wicked hard the crazy way. Now people are kind of like, all right, can we just kind of get back to normal? We had fun for a little while. That's too much. So I think things could end up going back a little bit more normal soon, hopefully. So if that happens, then you won't see this and everything will be normal. But let's say the ratings keep dropping and then the players, like say the NBA especially and the NFL, but mostly the NBA. Say the NBA, like they really are pushing things. I think you're going to see the NBA like either the NBA is going to completely change and be like bought out by different people, or the players are going to start their own NBA, like a separate NBA. Like, I don't know.
Like their own league entirely, a la the XFL?
Yeah. I don't know if it would be an all-black league, which I think that's illegal in this country. I don't think you can do that, but...
yeah, you're right.
But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like the players almost are flirting with that. Like, you get LeBron and a couple other guys with a lot of money.
Chris Paul,
yeah, and they start a league. Now, I'm not saying I want that to happen because I think that's a real bad thing for racial stuff in the country. I think that's I think it's not good. Like, I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that'd be good. I'd feel like if, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess if there was white guys in the league, like maybe that's different. I don't know, man, but I feel like it's that could happen. But I think all the lineage of the NBA though, you're leaving that behind. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, and the irony is like the NBA players are pushing everybody to vote now, though. Like LeBron's message is to vote. Like, you know, like they're pushing everybody to vote. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I wonder who they're, you know, like, okay, so if they were going to vote, since they're pushing everybody to vote, who would they vote for? Like, who do they see making this change that they're advocating?
Biden. They're all pushing Biden.
But I mean, we all know his like underlying,
right? Like, yeah, he's,
you know, like ethics,
right? Like Trump has done financially. You know, it's hard to say, man. Like, it's really hard to say. They've both done things that aren't really the greatest. But Biden is.
And you brought it up the other night. Like neither one of them like are against any of the racist acts that's going on.
Yeah, they wouldn't denounce anything. They wouldn't denounce anything by anybody. They wouldn't denounce the right, the left, like the extremists on any side, the different racial. They were like, oh, I'm gonna dance around that kind of. It's like, I don't know,
so
man.
That's
like,
what confuses me. It's a lose-lose in terms of a change. So why would they advocate for everybody, minorities to go out and vote?
I think
why would they advocate that? Because it's a lose-lose either way.
Well, because they think that Trump's the worst person, mostly. He's the worser of the evil. They think he's the...
But you're saying that why dissuade people from going to the polls? Because you're going to lose either way?
Yeah, because it's like,
either you don't get the
you're
vote.
not going to win either way, because it's like neither one of these guys are going to present real change.
Well,
like if they think as Biden is, well, they probably don't. And this is an assumption, but they probably just don't know the underlying history of Biden and things that he said and have done already.
Well, at least you know that. I mean, I know that, you know that, and a lot of people know that, but a lot of people don't know that. When I'm sorry to tell you out there, but Biden uses you. Like, if you're black, he just sees you as a vote. Like, I'm gonna get votes because the white people are. Why all of a sudden have white people turned around on all this stuff about racism on the left and all this stuff? I'll tell you why. It's because they know they now need those votes. Now they know that people think that way, so now they've got to speak that way so they can get those votes. Biden is only saying this now because he's not... Biden isn't even saying this now necessarily to get the black vote. Biden's saying this now to get the white vote of all the people who are fucking see black people as pets that they need to stick up for them. That's what it is. That's the biggest part of it.
All the all the people like the the white race that came out to all the protests and things like that. You know what I mean? Like those people, right? Like
exactly. Like there's
those people.
There's a lot.
Because I didn't see him kicking it with like fucking Cardi B when he was kicking it with Barack.
Yeah, who was kicking it with anybody was Trump was kicking it with all the rappers back in the day. People treated him like Ric Flair. Now all of a sudden he's a racist.
Right.
Trump was like, "Oh, Trump, what's up? Want to be in my music video? Shit, Donald Trump's here. Check out this, Donald Trump. Oh, he's a racist." Like, well, wait a minute. The only time where I think that the worst thing Trump ever did that was like not good for that type of thing, I guess, or if you wanted to say was one of the most weirdest things he ever did was that Central Park 5 thing. That was. And I don't even think not even because they were black. But just because he sort of inserted his money and himself into a criminal case. You know what I mean? Somebody who is like super powerful with a lot of money inserted himself into a criminal case. And those guys went to jail and apparently they didn't do anything. So it was like, I don't know. That was one of the that was weirder thing. And then there was the like not letting people, be in the condos he built and stuff like that, but he did that for financial reasons, So he had some kind of money reason for not doing that. But Biden's done these things too. It's like, so I don't know, man. How many people will tune into Kamala and to Pence? I don't know. If there's more than 30 million people that tune into that, I guess there will be. Because did you say 70 million people watch the debate?
73.1.
Jesus. That's crazy. Yeah, Biden and Harris have put more blacks in jail than anybody.
Oh my God.
This lady put people in jail and then used them as a bargaining chip. And nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. She also called Biden a racist not that long ago. And then nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. It's hilarious. Because you got to get Trump out because I don't know. So it's just it's weird, man. I think if I had 10 minutes on that stage in a suit, I think I could have taken over the presidency. If you put me on that stage last night and you said you got 10 minutes to tell the American people why you should be president instead of these two guys, I think I'd become the president of the United States. I swear to God, put me on that 10 minutes with them. Shut up, Biden. Shut up, Trump. I'm going to talk. I think people are electing me. But I don't know because people have such hate and love for these two guys, apparently, which is insane to me. Like how anybody could love Trump blindly or hate him blindly or love Biden or hate Biden, but I don't know how anybody does any of that. I think, like, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what is... I don't even know what Biden said the other night. I'm not even sure what that guy said.
I don't think he knows what he said the other night.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, at least Trump, like, he knows what he's doing, but some of it's scary. Like, the new judge lady, to me, is scary, especially for gay people, but that's just me. But it's like, I don't know what the fuck Biden is saying. I feel like he's just being like, here, tell him what to say in the back of his ass. Okay. He'll be the guy that does all the corporations who run the left party want, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't know, man. I don't know. So Wednesday night, you're saying this is Wednesday, so NXT and AEW will be up against this debate next week.
Yes, the vice presidential debate.
Ugh.
He said, and he's right, political stuff tends to tank ratings. It's happened with debates previously. And you can look back to WWE back in 2016 and whatnot. Ratings dropped then too.
Wow.
So.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to.
Something we'll have to pay attention to.
Uh-huh.
Also, speaking of, we got some news today that TakeOver 31 we knew was going to be in the Performance Center instead of at Full Sail. Triple H said during his media call yesterday that the arena is going to have a unique look and feel for the black and yellow brand. So something that could be game-changing for the brand in some parts of the industry. He said this Sunday's TakeOver will have a very unique look and feel, something totally different that hasn't been done before. You'll find out more on Sunday, but it'll be very unique, and I think hopefully, at least for us, game-changing.
They're going to have a slide. Famous B, they're going to come out on a slide. Like, they're going to enter the arena from a slide above.
They're going to have...
like WrestleMania in Orlando?
Exactly, but they're coming
out on a roller coaster.
Yeah, but they're coming down the slide. They're coming down like a neon lit up slide. It's going to be neon lights, clear slide, like it's a clear plastic, so you can see the guy coming down. And it's going to be like 15 loops, and the guy's like woo 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 woo, and then he'll drop in the ring. It'll be crazy. Telling you.
Hey, we had everything booked for them using that roller coaster with the New Day. So
New Day.
So does this mean that they're just basically going to revamp and refix up the Thunderdome to make it NXT-ish? Is that what I'm getting?
Thunderdome is at the Amway Center, so they're going back to the Performance Center and doing.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm curious what they're going to do. So,
yeah, because there's so much you can do. Like, it's only so much you can do. Like, even when they were doing Raw and pay-per-views and things like that at the Performance Center, it still felt like smaller. Does that make sense? Like, at least the Thunderdome, it kind of takes them out of that like smaller element, that smaller like environment, and it puts them back into what we're used to seeing them in, like a WWE arena.
Even without the Thunderdome, they could have, you make a great point. They could have, if they had WrestleMania just in the Amway Center, in the bigger arena, that would have made more of a difference. Getting the pyro back, even without a crowd, makes a difference. Now, if they had the Thunderdome or some, fans, it obviously would have helped a great deal. But no, you're absolutely making 110% sense there. So I'm curious what they do with it so it doesn't have that small feel and doesn't feel less important than the main roster.
Right.
Maybe they'll just have big video monitors. I mean, but this sounds like it's something crazier that like.
I hope they're not overhyping it, but it sounds like a big deal.
Yeah.
Party.
Here's Spaz Phoenix.
Cheap plug. Me and the birthday boy Super Sexy Jake previewing the hell out of NXT TakeOver 31 Live right vs SmackDown.
Baby. Spaz Phoenix and Jake tomorrow night. Check them out.
Yeah.
Live.
Be a good time.
After SmackDown.
I know where I'll be.
Right before
monetize this.
You'll be in the back of my car, man. I'll tell you that. No, I don't know. They're about to give reparations in California. So, Famous B, you're going to get some reparations, bro.
Hey, there you go.
All right.
We're looking at another stimulus, too, so we'll see what happens.
Well, then that's a double stimulus for Californians.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, most of them are homeless now, but,
Speaking of money, we know Triple H back in August, the end of it, we discussed how
it's not funny, but like it's funny.
we discussed how he sold quite a bit of stock. Well, Stephanie just did the same. She unloaded about 40% of her shares. She sold 43% of her Class A stock, not her Class B stock. There is a difference. Don't ask me what, but there is a big difference there.
I think her Class A stock is the stock that she received when the stocks first came out. But I could be wrong, or that's the stock that she directly owned. I don't even know. Fuck, I don't know what I'm talking about.
So Class A means you have more voting rights than Share B. So a Class A share might be accompanied by 5 voting rights. Class B, you usually have 1 voting right, but I know there's more to it than that as well. That's just the base explanation.
They're getting close. These guys are really close to fucking like some random other person having more say over the WWE. See, I think collectively the McMahons all have the most shares, but what happens when if they ever sell to a partner? They could sell to a partner who has like 40% of the goddamn stocks.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too, because in the filing, she sold $2.25 million worth of her WWE shares. That was September 21st. So that was 57,573 shares at an average of 39.18. That's only 40% of her Class A stock. This only amounts to 3% of her total WWE stock, though, because most of her stock is Class B.
Boy, did she screw up. She should have sold it when it was 90, 80, 70, or 60, or even 50. She sold it when it was 39. What a dumb fuck.
That hurts the pocket. But usually they do this to help kind of open up more shares and create revenue. And apparently she still owns 1.885 million shares worth of market value. So that's close to $74 million worth of shares in WWE. Just Stephanie has. And that's the second largest behind her father, Vince McMahon. So
yeah, and that wouldn't happen if, I mean, Vince sold a shitload, and so didn't Triple H, but
so Triple H sold his stock back in August. She sold hers in September, and it seems to be, not a direct quote here, but it seems to be that they're planning on moving from some of what I've been reading, and it looks to be like they're going to be selling their mansion that they live in now.
Oh no, they're leaving New Hampshire?
Connecticut. They're in Connecticut.
Who's in Connecticut?
Stephanie and Triple H and their 3 children.
I thought Stephanie and Triple H still lived in Manchester or in New Hampshire.
In this article, it says wherever Connecticut. I got to pull it back up.
What? Wow. When the fuck did they sell their New Hampshire house? I want to know. I'm a stalker. I don't know, man. I thought they lived in New Hampshire, but
So they said the 43-year-old's decision to cash in on some of her stock caused intrigue. Essentially, it was a month after her husband did the same. I'm trying to find the direct quote here. Yep, they live in Weston, Connecticut.
What?
With their 3 daughters, one of which is already training to become a WWE superstar.
Oh, no. Are you serious? What?
That's what the article says here. So,
wow.
That's news.
I didn't know their daughter was that old. Like, you know,
yeah, that's news to me.
No, she's like 16 or something, right? I thought.
Wow.
The oldest, I thought, but
wouldn't it be some crazy shit if their daughter fought The Rock's daughter?
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, that in Charlotte, you
get like NXT. Like,
you get Charlotte Flair versus fucking Triple H's daughter. What is she gonna be? Triple D? I'm sorry, I'm a loser. No, Triple D versus Charlotte. That'd be amazing. And that would be crazy, man. We see like Charlotte Flair, like Ric Flair's daughter, Triple H's daughter. And then, who did you say, Famous B?
The Rock's daughter.
The Rock's daughter. Yeah, get all of them in a triple threat match. Wow, that could be.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
ST from TO416.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Too many blacks, 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 too many blacks.
All right. Too many blacks.
Yeah,
right.
that sounds like a Wizard of Oz song.
Thank you. Thanks, Hitler.
Because of the wonderful things he does.
It's always good when Hitler donates to us. By the way, Hitler hated the Jews more than anything, right? I mean.
Yeah. I mean,
give it a hell yeah!
Good evening, gentlemen. Want a good laugh? Check out my latest post. Cheers.
Thank you, sir. Last night's breast slapping was pretty amazing stuff, I'll tell you that. Botch Club on Instagram, everybody. Follow them up right now. And you can see more breast slapping and other stuff that you won't believe. God, I got a big-time headache right now. I think I drank too much caffeine today. I'm getting a migraine. Like, either have COVID, I drank too much caffeine, or I've got a bladder infection. I'm
about to get it, man.
I go with the caffeine.
Here we go. Here we
go.
Here we go. Oh, no.
Famous BS no JK love you, Famous B.
Aw, thanks, Juan G.
There we go.
Juan G. Juan. I love you too. I love you too, Juan.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe it's too much. Can you get a headache from too much caffeine? I thought it takes.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know.
You absolutely can.
I thought it was. I thought I got rid of headaches. You know, I drank a cup. What it is, I drank a full cup of black coffee. Then Leah went out and bought Dunkin' Donuts, and brought me a French vanilla, and I drank half of that, and then I started just getting oh yeah, I'm on fucking fire.
Yeah, see, the problem is once you stop drinking the caffeine, you get a headache because the caffeine takes your blood vessels and shrinks them. And then once you stop consuming it, if you're consuming high amounts, they start to expand again, and that causes a headache again. So what works for good pain relief can also lead to a headache if you use too much of it.
Well, might have done that.
There you go.
Dr. DeMarco. Might be that.
Yeah. Jake nailed it. I was going to say, let's all do a monster challenge.
The VP debate is going to be boring as fuck, cause Linda and Vince probably aren't writing this one.
Freddie Mitchell. Thank you, 27 Freddie Mitchell. He thinks Linda and Vince wrote the other one. Yeah, I don't think there was anybody running anything for Trump. He was just fucking blazing off the cuff. He was just like, I'm going to steamroll him.
And that's the thing, too, when you have experience, when you're basically a reality TV star like Trump, came from kind of deal, you kind of know how to present yourself in front of the camera.
The ratings are low for sports is because most people watch from the apps and those views are counting differently.
Oh my God, dude, Trump has COVID. Freddie Mitchell, thank you, bro. Trump fucking has COVID.
Is he positive for it?
I swear to God, Trump has COVID.
Wow.
Oh, I should have worn that big ass mask that I spoke about. I should have been wearing that big ass mask.
Damn, it was only
I should have been wearing that big ass mask. That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious because I heard that clip. I remember that clip the other day, and I was laughing when he was like, Joe wears a giant mask. Like, what?
You're 200 feet away from people. I don't even get it. Why are you wearing that big ass mask?
Oh my God. Wow.
See, I thought he was just in the quarantine process. I didn't know he had it. They said earlier that one of his staffers was positive, so they were putting him in the quarantine process.
Oh my God. He really does. He's got fucking COVID. He really has COVID, dude. It's real. He
is this breaking news on Out of Nowhere? Trump has
this
COVID?
Is breaking news right now. I'm going to change the title even. Fucking holy shit, bro. Wow.
And he even said it too, we've learned a lot of things. We learned a lot of things. We learned that it if you're older, it really affects you. But the younger people, the babies, they're not really affected by it. But the older people, they're affected. Whoa, you about to die like Biden, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Wow, the first lady as well, Melania, tested positive also.
Wow. What the fuck? Dude, you know what's going to happen?
I'm not going to say that Joe Biden gave him COVID, right?
Joe gave it to me. He's probably
asymptomatic. And he did it to take out Trump.
He is an a-hole, so.
Why didn't you wear that big ass mask in our debate? Huh? Let me ask you that.
I think the Democrats put it there. I think they weaponized it. They put somebody. I'd never recognized the man in the front row, and I noticed several times during the debate. I'm sorry, but he was blowing at me, blowing in my direction. Oh
never mind the worry of his health and all that. I mean, obviously, you try and think best scenario. Okay, he'll be okay. He seems to be in good health, previously. But wow, what does this do for the election now? Because he has to isolate, obviously, so they can't do the debates. So he'll be quarantining for 14 days.
That's 2 weeks off. I mean, that's not. He could be back.
Right. Because isn't the next one on the 15th? On the 15th, am I not mistaken?
Right. If they go in today.
I mean, yeah, if they go in, he would miss the other one, I guess. Or you could do it via Skype. Then
13.
That would be
so it could be he
atrocious.
gets
God was watching the debate and he saw Trump just what he did and he was like, "Yeah, all right, we'll take. All right, I will step in. All right." No, but when he beats COVID, he probably will, right? And if he does, he's gonna. If he beats it, you'll never hear the end of it. I'm 80. How old is Trump? 78? Isn't he 78 or something? Anybody know how old Donald Trump is? Someone in the chat.
He is 74. He was born in 46.
I'm 74. They say 65 and over. my immune system just murdered it. It was like nothing. But some people, some people die. Some people do die, and some people have a trouble. Not me though.
Imagine if he died from it. Not that I would ever want that to happen. I don't want to see anybody die, but I'm saying with all that he did to downplay the virus, and like you said, either which way, he gets over it and he gets to gloat about how he's a super,
I think
fighting machine.
My problem with all the politicians in the entire country is everybody fucked it up at some point, right? Like, and I'm not trying to be Trump and say whatever. I had masks bought in January. We all know this. I bought the masks. I have the Amazon receipts. I bought the masks in January.
Yeah.
There's been other fucking plagues or whatever you want to call it, viruses that have happened. I never went out and bought masks, but I paid attention to what was going on in China and then what happened in other areas. And I went, holy shit. And in January, I bought masks. I would have shut down everything, like right from the beginning, right away. I would have been a fucking crazy person. The left-wing people were like, you're a racist. What are you doing? Ugh. And then he kind of like half-assed did stuff. But while he was doing stuff, they were saying he shouldn't be doing stuff, and then they were saying go out and everything. So nobody no politician had this right. Nobody. They all fucking had something wrong, and somebody wasn't doing something right around every corner. Like, and I was like, damn, these are the people who lead us, and they don't even know what to do. Like, that's what I learned, is that almost all of our politicians have no idea what the fuck they're doing. That's what I learned. So, like, I think everybody's fucking dumb as shit. I would,
right.
I mean...
And blaming it all on China and closing the borders to China and giving all the energy to China in terms of, where it came from and like China. Everybody being affected by China, when in actuality, it came here from Italy, from Europe.
Yeah, well, I mean, originally came from China.
Italy's a beautiful country.
It's
like, what?
Well, that's the thing is, like, yeah, I wouldn't play up the whole China virus thing. I don't mean, listen, he can say that if he wants. I'm not somebody that gets all butthurt by him saying China virus, but I don't.
No, me neither, but I mean, like, we got it from Italy, like, basically, like, from the Europeans.
Well,
like,
but I
Europe.
mean, he's obviously speaking about where it originated because those people are
right.
Because they're such irresponsible liars that, but still, I wouldn't call it that because I wouldn't want to, I don't want to demonize the people that live there. It's, but I would say China's irresponsible and they fucked this up. But, once we were unable to contain it, it's over. It's already here. It's just too late, at that point, it's already here. You saw what happened in Italy. It slowly moved through every country and every place where it had a couple of outbreaks that were huge and devastating, and then it went away, and there was a little resurgence for a second, then it went away. It's not... It's if it's Trump's fault, what's going on in the U.S., then I mean it's everybody's fault everywhere because everybody fucked it up. Everybody fucked this thing up. I don't think anybody handled it right. Maybe Sweden did. I don't know. Like they fucking seemingly, they were like, "Fuck, we don't give a shit," and then nothing really that bad happened to them that much. But there's not a lot of people there. There's only a few people there. Montana can say the same thing. You know what I mean? Go look at the state of Montana in America. Montana is doing pretty damn good, and they've done well the whole time. Why? Because there's no one there. So there's not enough people to spread it around and overpopulate the hospitals and all kinds of shit. So
they have no choice but to social distance because nobody's there.
Exactly. So like so that's the thing is then when they do go out to eat and stuff like that, it doesn't spread as quick because they're not spreading it all over the place in subdivisions. I don't know, man. I'm no fucking genius. I don't think anybody has the right answer to this 100%. But to just say it's all on one person everywhere, it's like I think nobody's fucking handling this right. Cuomo fucked up in New York. He's a left-wing guy. He fucked it up in New York. So, I hope you hit the like button and stick the thumb up directly. But yeah, Trump has COVID. He tweeted it out.
Wow. Yeah, he confirmed it himself. Said he was waiting on the results before going into quarantine for the country, and wow. I'm shocked that he actually admitted it as fast as he did too.
You got to wonder how close have the McMahons been to him during this whole process?
Well,
was Vince talking to him face to face? Like, because we hear all these I've heard rumors that they're like writing his like debate speeches and stuff like that, which is hearsay or whatever. You don't know if that's true or not. But I mean, what if this is a factor? What if the McMahons were like literally, just discussing with him in person things, or whatever the case may be. And you know, like how close have they been?
If Vince gets COVID, you'll know. You know.
Well, that's what. Well, the same thing.
He'll turn into a storyline.
Yeah, Vince will come out and announce it live on Raw, probably. You
What
know,
if Biden gets it?
if I was Vince, oh God, if Biden, I don't think he can deal with it. If Vince McMahon were to get COVID, what I would do if I was Vince, I would live stream my COVID on Raw, like from a hospital or from my bedroom. Not from a hospital, from my bedroom, obviously. Like seriously, and I'd be like, you know, I'd address the WWE and be like, obviously it's very serious, and you know, Vince would never do that because he's like, I think if Vince got it, he'd pretend he like wouldn't tell anybody, and he would like just battle it, and it would, and like if he got so bad that he was in trouble, then he wouldn't even know where he is anyway, and they'd be going to the hospital, so he wouldn't want to tell anybody. But if I was Vince, I'd go live on fucking Skype and be like, you know what I mean? If I die, it's gonna be live on WWE TV. If I live, you're gonna see what type of a beast I really, you know, like I. Owner of the WWE broadcast live from, you know, his COVID cave.
You'll redo the whole promo where he's in the hospital and Mick Foley comes in and hit him in the head over the head with a bit.
Oh no, that's Stone Cold that hit him. But yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh, Stone Cold, yeah.
That'd be great. I would do that if he made it. Like, so after he like lives, then I'd be like, all right, we're gonna the last to announce
now
it.
We can reenact it.
I don't give a damn if you got COVID. I'm still beating your ass. Take that, Vince. I don't give a damn. All the money you stole. Oh, it's crazy.
I got COVID. What? I got COVID. What? I got COVID. Damn it. What?
Oh, my God. I can't believe it, bro. Wow. Trump has COVID.
I'm legitimately shocked by this.
I mean, I don't know. Are we really though? I mean, I have my mask. It's a
Part of
tiny
me for a
mask.
while had said, "Oh, I know he'll get it because of him, you know, denying it, and that's just how karma works." But then it's been so long, and
How many of his supporters get it at all those rallies?
yeah, so
He gave it to all his supporters at the ralies.
He gave it to the whole stadium in Oklahoma. He gave it to the entire stadium.
Oh my God!
Who came out and gathered for the first time? Well, since this all happened, you know, way back when, like, you know, a couple months ago for that first rally he had, right, in Oklahoma.
Yeah, he fucking spread. I mean, they could kind of find that out too, because if he they've had outbreaks like that, and when they test it, they go, oh, everybody was at this concert. It's like the Jericho thing. So like it does trace back to like being able to find out. I don't know who it was that had it or how many people, but it really mutated at this fucking place. Like 30% of the place.
Sturgis, it started with 7 people and turned into over 250,000. So where Jericho performed.
Yeah, and you know Jericho was like, "Fuck you," like or whatever. But they proved it. I mean, like, what are you gonna do? I mean, it got traced back to that. I can't believe Leah hasn't tweeted me yet about this. She must be on a fucking.
Give it a hell yeah!
Might be asleep, actually.
Trump is playing everybody. He plays to what people like. That why people like him. Cause if you ask someone what his platform is, they couldn't tell you.
They couldn't? They couldn't tell you what Trump's platform is? I think they could because he did everything he said he was going to do. I mean, I'm not saying like I love the guy or anything, but I mean, Trump said he was going to do this, that, and the other thing, and then he went and did it. So I don't know about that. I don't think I agree with that. You might not like his platform, but I mean, I know what his fucking. He said he was going to have these trade deals with China. He did it. He said he was going to do this wall thing. That's his worst promise is that. He said he was going to do all these things. He did them for the most part, you know. So I don't know about that. Like I kind of know I don't know what Biden's platform is, really. I mean, 100%. I do know what some of it is. I don't know what all of it is. I don't know. I don't know. I think that if you don't know what his platform is, you're not paying attention because the guy told you. I mean,
that's true. He's very transparent in his like, you know, like in terms of what he say. Like, you know, he's very transparent in terms of what he wants to do and his beliefs. But like the one thing about this too that I must say, I'm a worker. And it's hard to work a worker, right? So I'm thinking all this backlash of how terrible this debate was do you not just throw something like this out there right now so that people will stop talking about how shitty the debate was?
And now
have something to focus on? Yeah, something more major to focus on. It's like, what's the odds or the coincidence that he would all of a sudden get this like right after this debate and it didn't turn out favorable, especially for him. And now all of a sudden he has it? Like,
well,
come on, bro. Like,
plus if he doesn't have it, plus if he didn't have it, saying he has it and then coming out and being like, I beat it. Like, how epic is that to be like, I beat it. I did it. See, America, you can do it too.
Right before the actual election, right? Right before the actual election.
Yep. Like the timing couldn't be better for him, really.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I don't know if that's true, but there is that part of me that as soon as I saw the tweet, thought the same thing, because I'm always thinking the same thing too, like you said. That, like, what if it's a work? Everything is what if it's a work, dude. Everything is always like that. Like, what if it's a work? What a smart idea. You know, it's
all those wrestling ties. You never know.
You're going to see a lot of people saying that, though. You're going to see a ton of people saying, like, yeah, right. You know?
The timing is really conspicuous.
They'll believe Chris Kumo, who came out of his basement, but...
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. We'll see. Let me play some more donos real quick, and we'll be almost done.
Our own shitty in Philly, we're gritty, yo. This whole city, we're gritty, yo. We might eat our own shitty, yeah. Eat our own shitty. In the city of Philly, we eat shitty. We're gritty as can be. We can survive off our motherfucking own PCs. In Philly, we're gritty. In Philly, we're gritty. This whole city, we'll eat our own shitty. In Philly, that's why our mascot looks like a...
Only bad things happen in Philly. The guy in the donation disagrees and says fuck you. Either way, Biden or Trump, we are fucked. Should have been Tulsi. Vote Joe Jorgensen, everyone. What's up, famous B-sex god Jake and broken brother Cronin?
Hello, sir. Fade to black. What's up, Fade to black? Maybe I have it too with this headache. God damn, I feel horrible. Fade to black, what up? Thanks for the $8.
What up, Fade to black?
Yeah, baby.
Fade to black. Who else we got coming in here? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna let the donations run because we got a few coming in, and it's been a few. Wow. Yo, J-Raw, what's up, man? What's up, Costanza? Paul's like, can we get back to wrestling? I'm sorry, Paul. It had to do with ratings and the political stuff. We happen to get into it. At least I'm not telling you who to vote for. Vote for whoever you want. I don't even care.
Well, at the end of the night, we still have the card for TakeOver as well this Sunday.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess we can do that. It's probably 5 matches, so that's...
Yeah, there's 5 matches. It's...
All right, we'll run through that. Yeah, I do not want Pence to become president.
No one does.
Tomorrow we shall destroy. We're gonna have a good night tomorrow on Monetize This. Make sure everyone sets their reminder for the fuckery. You never know what will go down on a Friday night.
Yeah, you never know. Tomorrow night, man. Tomorrow night on Monetize This. I mean, Throwdown was nuts the other night. That was that was the 3rd most watched Throwdown ever. Tuesday night. It was crazy. So,
incredible show.
Make sure you're watching Monetize This Friday. It's going to be on Corrupted Nation, my other channel. The Bullfrog Show, man. It's like 7,000 views. Part of it was the debate, too. You know, a lot of people were coming in because of the debate and whatever else, but...
I think most of it was the debate.
Man, but he did threaten to kill me. TonyFromReveah. Thank you, Tony, for the $10, man. Thanks to Will Garvin for upping it.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Awesome throwdown with Rose and Froggy. But in my opinion, Dave lost as soon as he said no to anal. I can't believe Bullfrog called a Wendy a sand N-word. WWE is shit right now. What can I say except Roman Reigns, surprisingly. I need to finish.
I don't know what, a thesis. I think that's what he said. Yo, Randy Viper, thanks, man. Yeah, Bullfrog called a Wandy a sand N-word. So that was...
Yeah.
And then he said he was going to kill me with a gun. So
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff.
He was a little psychotic.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Trump having COVID is part of the plan, so he can say it's not that strong, all part of his master plan. Now he will say, look, him okay, you'll be okay.
TonyFromReveah. It's all part of the plan. I'm going to remember that if he dies, that you said that. And I'm going to remember that when Pence takes over. Oh, my God. Can you imagine Pence being president, dude? Just bury me now. You do not want that guy.
That's a good way to get out of the debate, but storyline, he heals up into a week and he can be a hero.
Yeah, either way, man. I don't think it's a work really, but I don't know though. It is really weird. But he has been doing a lot of campaigning recently though, too. So I don't know. He was bound to fucking get it, probably. Traveling all over the place, seeing all these people and all these things, and barely wearing a mask. Freddie Mitchell, But I don't know. It is a little weird timing.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
That what you get for downplaying me the whole time. Crying face, crying face,
China
crying
virus.
face, crying face.
We're going to China. Yo, China virus, thanks for the $3, man.
What about all the Trump supporters that think the virus is a myth now,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What does it mean if your president says he has it? The guy.
And that's so weird because, like, this guy. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but I mean, it's so weird because it's like you're a guy who, excuse me, knows. I mean, well, we have the vaccine coming out. I know when it's coming out. I'm talking to the people who's like doing all this, like, kind of deal. Like, you would think that you would know how to. You would be the first person to know how to escape it. Am I not like so to speak, or like, am I wrong by thinking this? I mean, like, wouldn't you be the first person to know how to not get it, or like how to something, right? Like, how are you just as susceptible to this as the rest of the American public who has no idea how to, not come in contact with this?
Well, because unless you're wearing a biohazard suit, you can catch it. Like, the only way to get around it is to wear a fucking biohazard suit. So the president would have to be walking around with a goddamn biohazard suit. But people come into his office all the time.
But if I was him, I would be like, hey, yo, I'll be calling my scientists like, yo, let me get a little bit of sample of that real quick. Let me get a little, bit of that.
It's not that
vaccine sample real brief. I need a couple little dabs real quick. Sure. I need a little bit of dab real quick. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, you have access to all this shit.
I took on the pandemic. I took on the enemy. I've seen the enemy up in person. It is a rough enemy. It is a battle, but if you're healthy, you can defeat the enemy. I don't know, dude. I can't imagine the things. I don't even know, man. It's so morbid to think about.
Hell yeah!
The it's not real people, I hope they keep that same energy now that their hero Trump has it, and Vince is on the task force with Dana, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Vince is on the task force with Dana. That's true. A lot of these guys too, man. They're just such guys that they don't care. They're these dudes are like, fuck, I don't care. This won't happen to me. Like, I don't even care. And if it does, I'll kill it. Like everything. Like that's the mentality of a lot of Vince has that kind of mentality too.
What else we got?
Like,
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bring it on. I'll
bubbly.
kill it.
Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
The Simpsons haven't been wrong yet. They predicted Trump's death, lol.
That is true. The Simpsons, that is very, very true. That is, and what would happen too if he were to somehow go from this for real? You're talking about who runs for president? Pence? Like what? Yeah. I mean, they would have to come up with somebody out of nowhere.
Super Chat Party.
Just finished milking your boy from NZ loves you guys. How bad is WWE? Skull.
It's bad.
Been watching Ring of Honor so good he'll be back in chat after weekend brew.
High Life Stinson, man, all the way in New Zealand where Path of Exile resides. I love you, man. Sweet as, bro. Sweet as. Famous B, what do you think the best of all the shows, any show, whatever, what's the best wrestling show on TV right now, Famous B? From Lucha Underground. If you don't know who he is, you're a son of a bitch in the chat. Sorry.
If you don't know who I am, you've never heard about 423 Get Fame.
I've called it.
Oh man, I missed that. I missed that number. You know,
know.
I've never been disconnected for a while, but I missed that number. But man, the best wrestling on TV
Dude,
right
what's
now.
the best? If you had to pick
say,
one,
I would say AEW.
yeah,
I would say AEW. I mean, like here in the States, like definitely AEW.
Allie wants us to talk about Alex wants us to talk about this New Japan thing. So we'll come up on that New Japan thing.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say I haven't been in touch with what New Japan has been doing lately, but man, they have a great in-ring product. Obviously, everybody knows that. ROH, I haven't seen ROH in quite some time.
They hadn't been on either, yeah.
Yeah. And then Impact Wrestling, I haven't seen Impact Wrestling in a while either. Just because I just talk to people in the company, we gotta talk about it like from the behind the scenes aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the on-screen product. But from what I've seen, actually myself on TV, AEW.
Yeah, I'd agree AEW. Jake probably would too.
Yeah, I think that would probably be. I mean, NXT is up there. WWE still has good stuff. I mean, SmackDown's still pretty damn good, but AEW's been the most consistent.
What do you think? In the worst one, right? I think Raw is the worst show that I'm watching.
It's been most consistently the worst of all the wrestling shows. And I don't know if there's many reasons, obviously, but that's the show that's 3 hours and happens to be the worst. That really isn't a coincidence.
And it's the oh my God, what is that? Kof?
Diva Bible sent me this, and I don't know who that is actually, but
I thought it was Kofi Kingston.
I thought it was Kofi at first too, but I'm not sure if that's Kofi. Doesn't look like. I don't know. It might be.
Yeah, I just got that contract, boy. That was like the day he found out he was getting signed. He started beating off.
No, man, he's looking at. No, he's looking at a picture of Sasha Banks right here. That's what's going on.
What are the other?
Diva Bible sent me that. Man, that's just too funny.
Yeah, no, but I was gonna say Raw, man, it's. It has not been the same for such a long time, which is unfortunate. But I also think it's one of the reasons is because it's the standard bearer of wrestling for us. We all grew up on Monday Night Raw. It's always been their A show. It's the A show in the A company, so to speak, quote unquote. And it's we have no choice but to hold it to a high standard. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's one of those things where it's it's going to always be judged very, very highly and put on this pedestal because that's that's what we're used to, and it just hasn't measured up to it for a while.
Yeah, I think so too. It's been ugly. I think that the New Japan stuff, I don't know anything about it right now. I honestly don't. There's something about it we're supposed to talk about, but
yeah, Alex brought up how because they just revealed 3 days ago that their New Japan of America CEO Takami Obari is going to be the new president that takes over for New Japan entirely.
Oh, right,
so,
that's the USA guy left. Okay, so he's taking over even for the USA part.
Yeah, and he's going to be taking over for full New Japan. New Japan Pro Wrestling issued the statement Monday morning, I believe it was. So it'd be Tuesday morning, so Monday here. They said at a meeting of New Japan's parent company, they decided that a change was announced in the directorship, and this change will take effect beginning in New Japan's 50th year of trading on October 23rd. So,
damn.
We don't know how this is going to play into the working relationship they have with AEW either. So,
or anybody with talents and stuff and working in the U.S. and whatever else. It's just I don't know. I guess the guy speaks.
Give it a hell yeah!
I don't know. Harold something says, oh yeah, he's resigning as NWA president. Yep. He just brought up what we were talking about. Fade to Black, thanks, man. Takami, current CEO, USA is taking over. Financial reasons as well as losing a TV deal in America Wrestlers, Bucks, Kenny Omega, as well as negative relationship with AEW. So maybe they want to work with AEW and that guy was in the way of it?
That's kind of what I was reading from this briefly, but that's why I was waiting to look into more of this.
Give it a hell yeah! Hey Trump, drink some bleach, it will cure you. And I'm gonna fuck her wife. Hit my music I.O.
Actually, he had a good WCW theme, too. But now I'm afraid to play any music based on the new YouTube guidelines, so I got to kind of stay away from that. But otherwise, I would like to play it for you, but I can't. Hit that like button down below. Hit that goddamn like button. Hit that sub button. And I'm going to fornicate with people. We got to get the fuck out of here. So do you want to just cover that tomorrow, or do you want to run through it real quick?
It's up to you. You let me know.
Let's do the NXT predictions tomorrow. I need something to do tomorrow anyway.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's get out of here, man. Famous B on Twitter, @FamousB.
23, Deuce 3.
Oh, yeah, I always forget you got the Jordan at the end.
Jordan.
He's my guy, man. I love Jordan.
423.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. It's 23, goddammit. Get it right.
Where's the fucking music?
All right. Vampiro, relax, Vampiro. So it's going to be all right. Hit up at FamousB23 on Twitter, at CountdownEnded for Jake. I'm at JCS Commentary. Thanks to everybody who donated tonight. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Trump has COVID. Not a lot of crazy wrestling news really today, but NXT predictions tomorrow. And then Jake will be talking it with Spaz Phoenix after SmackDown. And I'll see you guys for Monetize This tomorrow night as well. So,
yeah, coming up live before Monetize This, so go ahead, check that out, and Monetize This tomorrow night. Corrupted Podcast Saturday, Sunday. Unfortunately, no gaming again because you'll be live, but
yeah, I'll be live. I'll probably do the gaming after NXT though, because I can't imagine I'm going to talk about it more than an hour and a half. So
maybe we'll try and do the live thing again. That worked out quite well. So we'll see if that's possible.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. All right, everybody. See you later.
Sexy, everybody. Have a good night.
Hit up the Patreon if you haven't already hit up the Patreon, because Off the Rails episode 6 is up. Podcast with me and my wife. Talk Spooky to Me comes back, and a whole bunch of other shit. Good night, Billy K. Billy K, baby.